Directed. Keep out of reach of children.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what?
Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but three first names, David Scott Kelly.
First and goal at the 3. Lining up in the clock at 10 seconds and ticking. In the shotgun, Mahomes. 4-man front, receiver in motion, low snap. He runs and he throws, caught, touchdown. It's caught. Hardman caught the ball. The Chiefs have won. The Chiefs have won. The entire bench empties. Chasing Mahomes in the end zone. Their third Super Bowl in 5 years. The Chiefs are back-to-back Super Bowl champions. It is a dynasty. The Chiefs have won Super Bowl 58, 25-22 in overtime.
The great Kevin Harlan with the call, as you heard it here on Sunday. Wildcats Radio 1290. Westwood won. The Kansas City Chiefs winning their third Super Bowl championship in 5 years. Their fourth overall before they got to this last set of this run. We can debate whether it's a dynasty. Before they got to this run, they had not won a Super Bowl since 1969. But in this part of the 21st century, they are at the moment the best team in professional football. Hands down, they did it again. That's why I wasn't picking against them. Not with that guy, Patrick Mahomes, number 15 there on the other side. That jersey will be retired here in the not too far long. He's not done yet, but just an incredible performance by the Kansas City Chiefs. And what I think was maybe a surprisingly low-scoring game. I didn't think it was necessarily going to be a defensive struggle, but that's what we got on Sunday between these two teams. McCole Hardman catching the game-winning touchdown pass. Who is McCole Hardman? I mean, who are, outside of Travis Kelce, who are these wide receivers on this team that Patrick Mahomes throws to? Justin Watson? Rashee Rice? Rashee Rice is not conjuring up any images of Jerry Rice. McCole Hardman? I mean, think about that. I mean, yes, you have a future Hall of Famer at tight end. But generally, you got to have at least maybe a first or second team wide receiver on a Super Bowl winner. No? I mean, when you really look at it, I mean, neither one of these two teams had a dynamic wide receiver. I mean, Brandon Ayuk out of Arizona State might be the closest thing to a dynamic receiver on either of these teams. The Niners were led in receiving by Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield.
Are you trying to say defense wins championships?
I don't know what I'm trying to say.
By the way, he was born in 95, so I hope he's not done yet because he's 28 years old. Quite a bit of football probably left to be played.
Well, yeah, if he's like Tom Brady, he'll play.
Right.
He'll play for another 14 years,
Sure.
probably, right? Patrick Mahomes, out of Texas Tech, son of a Major League Baseball player, now the best quarterback in the National Football League. All right, what did you think of the game yesterday? 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. First Super Bowl that I've not had to work. Like, I was literally off outside of the fact that I was monitoring the station to make sure that the Super Bowl just didn't go off the air in the middle of it. But first Super Bowl since 2010 that I did not have to work.
How was it?
That was kind of exciting. Well, it was fun. You know, the wife came home. She was back in Ohio, so I picked her up from the airport. We went and did a little pre-gaming at one of our favorite spots. Then we went home, picked up some food. We didn't cook anything because, you know, she's like, oh, let's just pick up some food. So we picked up food. We took it home. And then we just kind of plopped on the couch and watched the game. I had my little notebook out because, you know, now that this is the new me. Now I've got to actually, like, take notes of stuff that's happening during the game so I can talk about it today. So most of the notes I think I took were literally about the commercials and that kind of thing. I think I took very few notes on the actual game itself, other than the fact that Travis Kelce lost his mind for about 5 seconds, bumping into Andy Reid. I'm not sure what that was. Did you see our guy Max from Kim FM in the morning? He showed me the meme. Did you see the meme on Travis Kelce bumping into Andy Reid that says something to the nature of, you got to throw me a touchdown pass or else Taylor's going to break up with me and write a song about it.
Yeah, I did see that.
Funny stuff there. Giants fans, you weren't playing yesterday.
Sad Giants fans.
Yeah. 49ers fans. Get all those San Francisco teams mixed up. 49ers fans, what did you think? How did you feel about your team coming oh so close and not being able to finish the deal? Taking the ball in overtime. Hey, look, I don't have a problem with it. I guess the percentages say you should go on defense first. I didn't see anything wrong with them taking the ball first, especially the way their defense had played for the majority of that game.
Right. I think if it's in a vacuum, you're looking at you probably want to know what you need to do.
Exactly.
Like you want it second so you can figure out what it is that you need to do, what your requirements are. However, the way both those defenses were playing, that's what I meant. Like, you know, both those teams, it was field goal, right? Until the final touchdown. And so
I think I would rather have my offense on the field first just because there's no pressure then. I mean, you just got to go down. You go down and you score, and you take the pressure off yourself. It's like if you give them the ball, they go down and score. Now you've got the ball. You know, okay, shoot, we gotta get a touchdown or it's over. That to me, that seems like there's more pressure involved there than if you just take the ball and you go down and you're just trying to figure out what's going to happen. Like, there's no pressure when you have the ball first, I don't think.
I read
less
that
pressure anyway.
Coach Reed and his staff had the plan. Their plan was if they had the ball second. This was from weeks ago.
Yeah.
They had the plan where if they had the ball second in overtime and the Niners scored first a touchdown, that they would have gone for two. That's what I read today.
Yeah.
That was their plan.
Yeah. So kudos to Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you know, the best quarterbacks when the game is on the line, that they know how to get it done. Ray McLeod fumbled the ball, fumbled a punt. Of course, his brother Jordan played here in Tucson for the Arizona Wildcats. A lot of different connections in this game. Demetrius Flanagan fouls, got into the ball game as a result really of an unfortunate injury. Saw a whole lot more snaps maybe than he was anticipating that he would play in this game. But Demetrius showed himself well out there after Dre Greenlaw went down. Just a horrible, untimely injury for Dre Greenlaw. Literally just leaving the sidelines and his Achilles pops. That was just terrible to see. Terrible to see. You hate to see anybody get their opportunity like that, but it's football, it's sports. And it's next man up, and that next man up was Demetrius Flanagan Fowles, Tucson Falcons, Tucson High School, Mountain View High School, University of Arizona. And on the Super Bowl stage Sunday in Las Vegas for the San Francisco 49ers. Finished with 4 tackles and 1 pass deflection, which you will hear coming up just a little bit later. All right, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Let's start things off today and hear from Michael, DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi. Am I on?
Michael, how are you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can hear you fine. What you got today?
Oh, good. I was just thinking about the receiver situation, which is that the Mahomes did not have any name brand all-star Hall of Fame receivers, and he threw to people that he needed to catch the ball. I'm thinking about Tom Brady. Tom Brady, throughout most of his career, including in the Super Bowls, did not have name brand receivers, and the people that shined when he needed him to were, well, first of all, he distributed the ball all over the place. So it's very similar. Also, later in his career, in the last two or three, he had Rob Gronkey for a tight end, just not too bad. So it's eerily similar, it looks to me like, with Mahomes.
So you don't think that Julian Edelman was a marquee wide receiver?
Yeah, he was. I don't think he was in the same league as the all-time greats. Maybe he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But I think in the first go-around, the first three, I don't think he had. Was Edelman was early or late? I can't remember.
I thought Edelman was
middle
he was on
end,
the he was middle to the end. Yeah.
Yeah, but in that first round, somebody caught a key pass in one of the early games I never heard of in my life until that game. But he just moved the ball all over the place. He had so many people catching the ball that it was hard for defense to contain it.
That's what makes a great quarterback great. Is that not right,
Yep.
Michael? When you can take what they give you and make it happen.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
the difference between a great quarterback who knows to throw to the open receiver as opposed to the guy who has one receiver who's always getting open, right? It's like those two philosophies. And clearly he's at that level where it's really just a matter of what the defense is giving you. Like that late play, DK, where they had, 9 guys in the box and he just, hit the safety valve over the middle. It was just like so easy. And I remember the broadcast at the time saying, why are you pressuring him right now? Why? Why would you pressure him? Because it's just too easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think probably San Francisco should have kicked the ball away in the overtime. Personally, I just think most people, unless you have compelling reasons why not, would rather know what they have to do to win the game when they get possession of the ball. So
New England though did have one Hall of Fame wide receiver in Randy Moss there for a number of years.
Yeah, they brought
New
him.
England.
They brought him in as
yeah.
a ringer. Yeah, that was a 3-year stretch.
Yeah, he wasn't so bad.
He's pretty good.
You got a
He's
point
pretty
there.
good. He's pretty good. Hey,
Thank you
Michael,
very much.
thanks a lot. We appreciate your call. 520-848-1290. Looking at some of these other names. So this is somebody wrote an article here. Top 41 wide receivers of Tom Brady's career. Obviously, number 1 is Rob Gronkowski. Randy Moss is number 2. Wes Welker, number 3 on that list.
And those are just those slot guys again, right?
Yeah. Julian Edelman is 4. We mentioned him. And then 5 is Deion Branch. 6 was Troy Brown.
Troy Brown, the defensive back.
No, he was wide receiver. He did play some corner.
Yeah,
but
that
he
was my
also-
point.
yeah,
I remember when he played corner, 'cause there was
he did play
injuries.
some corner. Danny Amendola. But yeah, really only one true Hall of Fame guy, and that was Randy Moss. All right, we are joined by the third member of our program.
Good afternoon.
Cricket is
Friends.
here.
Hello.
Cricket the steak lady. See, we got she goes from mysterious to the steak lady.
Something like that.
How'd the steak giveaway go over the weekend? weekend.
They made a lot of sales.
Now, wait, was this at Park Place Mall?
No, this was one at North Mall Center.
Oh, okay.
But they were also doing the same thing, the same company at Park Place. Also.
Okay, because I saw one of our vehicles cruising in that area yesterday. Was it Saturday and Sunday or just
I have
Saturday?
a remote on Saturday, and there was another one that was on
Okay,
Sunday.
because I
at
saw
Park
one of
Place.
our Kim trucks over by the mall on Sunday. I was like, oh, I wonder if that's the steak giveaway.
The thing, yeah.
The thing with the steaks.
Yes. How was your guys' weekend? Did you get Sunday off?
Yeah, we did. We were just saying that, again, Super Bowl off for the first time, so I had a chance. I took notes, Cricket. I took notes.
You took notes about the game?
I took
Not
notes
about the game.
Exactly.
Oh.
I think I have 15 things written down here, and only one of them really has anything to do with the game.
Oh.
It was mostly probably about the commercials. And the fact that we watched, we turned on the Nickelodeon broadcast for we only lasted 5 minutes because it was the SD. The picture was standard definition.
Right.
And my wife didn't like the crazy stuff flying across the screen. So she was like, I am not a child. I don't need to watch. Can we go back to the regular? This is my wife. Can we go back to the regular broadcast, please? I'm not a child. She did not want anything to do with that Nickelodeon broadcast with the squishes and the sounds,
Slimes,
the emojis flying across the screen. She wanted nothing to do with that. Did you get the dog walking done in time to watch the game?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
All right. Did
So
you enjoy? Did you eat anything really good? What'd you eat?
I didn't eat much, surprisingly.
I had ribs. I had barbecued ribs, and they were really good. Barbecued ribs and fries with.
We made nachos and chimichangas.
Ooh.
That sounds good, too.
Well, first I cooked some chicken for 3 hours.
Did you make that
then
slow
I marinated some beef
lo mein?
overnight, and then I got the grill go. Yeah. But yeah, we had some good stuff.
Did you do that lo mein thing you were talking about?
I did it last week. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How'd that
I did
come
last
out?
week. It was great. It was
Okay.
great. I did house shrimp and beef and chicken.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good.
Jeez. He's a straight up master chef over there.
Quite a chef.
I don't know what he's doing.
I just
here.
don't see it. I don't look at it as being hard. I've made enough mistakes in the kitchen in my life that I'm confident in there. So
There you go.
it's not hard.
There you go. All right.
Excellent.
Sunny out. That's a good thing. That means there's probably not a lot of accidents today, Cricket.
Yes. So from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Some slowdowns eastbound Grant Road approaching Columbus. Westbound Miracle Mile at Flowing Wells also busy. We do have a few reported collisions. Crash on Catalina Highway near Milepost 3, near the airport at Valencia and Tucson Boulevard, and a wreck in Oro Valley, Naranja, east of La Cañada. 41 and clear overnight, sunny, 70 tomorrow, and 65 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer.
COVID-19? I don't want to risk missing work. I booked an appointment for this season's updated COVID-19 shot designed to help protect against recent variants. Learn about a vaccine option and book your COVID-19 shot on schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
What makes 1290 different than any other radio station in Tucson? 1290 is the home of the Arizona Wildcats, the NFL, and the Super Bowl. Winner. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This just in, Goodfellas AC is matching up to $2,000 on federal tax credit.
Whoa, seriously? This is unbelievable. I gotta call Floyd at Goodfellas.
Hello, Goodfellas. Floyd speaking.
Is it true about the $2,000?
It sure is. Homeowners like you may qualify for a 30% federal tax credit up to $2,000 on qualifying heat pumps. And Goodfellas will match the tax credit dollar for dollar up to $2,000. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Well, it's the first part of a new year, and some people are coming up with some pretty interesting New Year's resolutions.
I'm taking karate classes.
Hey, wait just a minute.
Let's get something really stupid tattooed on our butt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why not make your New Year's resolution to always save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products? At Tobacco Barn, you'll not only save up to 40%, but there's also no city or state sales tax at Tobacco Barn because they're on the reservation.
I'm getting married to the first girl I meet. Hey there, sweetheart.
And you can save up to another $3 with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Let's try parachuting. Geronimo!
So save up to 40%, save with no city or state sales tax, and save up to another $3 with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com. But maybe skip the skydiving. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower use for adults only.
Your home for in-depth conversation.
Nothing they do is by surprise. They telegraph what they want to do, and then they brag about it afterwards. It's a way to keep us at each other's throats.
The most pressing issues.
This was just a white on black crime, and you can already see the narrative starting to form in real time.
And fresh perspective.
The air marshals will not be on the airplanes because they're down at the border escorting illegal aliens to their Ubers.
America's most loved truth tellers live on Tucson's home for conservative talk. This is Freedom 1400.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through March 4th, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic and an oil filter for $36.99, only at AutoZone.
Claim based on Sequence 3 H-Test versus API SP test limits.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Listen to the home of the Wildcats wherever you are on your iPhone and iPad by downloading our new app in the App Store so you can tune in wherever you are 24 hours a day. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Why does 1290 run this town?
It's simple. 1290 is the only radio station that can bring you Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Scoreboard 1290.
This is the home of the Wildcats.
This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Doug. Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. You can interact with this program by downloading our app. So head on over to the App Store and look for the Wildcats Radio 1290 app, or even better, just text the word app, APP, to 520-848-1290, and I will send you a link to your phone, directly to your phone, so that you can download our app and take 1290 with you wherever you want to go. Super Bowl 58 is in the books. Next year, I think it returns back to New Orleans, which is always been a popular destination. You know, some people say if you've not been to a Super Bowl in New Orleans, then you've not actually been to a Super Bowl, because that has...
Do they say the same about New Year's Eve in Shreveport?
Ha, ha, ha. No.
No.
No, they do not say that at all. I've not been to a Super Bowl in New Orleans, so I guess I've never been. But again, yesterday was the first time I hadn't had to work Super Bowl Sunday, which was kind of nice. since 2010. Got a chance to watch the game. I'll admit, I did kind of take a little bit of a nap in the third quarter.
You're allowed.
Did take a
I
little
mean, what
bit
time
of a
did we
nap
get
in the
done? We got
third
done
quarter.
at like 1:30, 1:45 the night before.
I was here a little bit later than that, and then I had to get up in the morning. So I was like, after I ate a little bit, I had to take and Usher wore me out. The whole thing on the roller skates. What did you think? Are you into the halftime shows? I know there was.
I am, but that's not my era of hip hop. I mean, I was more like Jungle Brothers, De La Soul era. So it's like Usher's music is not. I mean, I'm familiar, but it's not like that wasn't my high school years or anything.
No, it's too young for you. Too young for me.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty good though. I mean, I like the whole roller skates kind of thing. I thought that was a cool element to it. Alicia Keys came out and he had some stars, Ludacris. Yeah, it was kind of different. It's always fun when it's just more than one person, I think. Bring out a few people that are recognizable and have them perform as well. So I
think it's got to be the standard now where you have an artist come out who's been associated at times in their career with some other famous people and they just make a little, quick appearance. So, everybody's happy.
Indeed. Let's hear from Patrick Mahomes on winning back-to-back Super Bowls for the Kansas City Chiefs, 3 times in 5 years, 4 times now total for the Chiefs kingdom. Is this a dynasty, Patrick?
Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes. Is that one of the more exhausting games you've ever played in, man? Go all 5 quarters and to finish it in the end.
Yeah, no, it was fun. Obviously, we didn't start the way we wanted to, but just like all year, defense kept us in it, or we were able to come up big at the very end. But I'm just proud of this team, man. We fought to the very end, and we're Super Bowl champs.
We talked to you earlier in the week about adding more run plays for you specifically. That 4th down was about as huge as it gets to break down the play.
Yeah, no, it was actually a play where it was not necessarily a run play, but I was kind of on the run, and I was looking to throw it to Travis or Rasheed, and it opened wide open. And I told Coach, if you get me out there, if I can go get it, I'm going to go get it. And he did that. I mean, Coach Reed, Coach Nags, all the offensive coaches called a great second half. And I'm just proud, man. I'm proud of everybody on this team. It was a full team effort.
Last play, obviously, the touchdown to Mecole Hardman. Break that play down because, again, it looked like you had finally worn down their defense. They had enough of you guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was the same motion that we scored on in the last Super Bowl. And we saved it to the right moment. I had a couple options with that play, but he outflanked, and I got it to Mecole, and I'll forever remember he didn't even know that the game was over. I had to tell him that we just won the Super Bowl. So, no, that was a special moment for me.
Well, for you personally, like when you look at Andy Reid, I heard your interview with CBS. You said if you get the win, you can call it a dynasty.
Yeah, no. I mean, this is the start of one. I mean, we got Coach Reid, we got Trav, we got a great defense, we got a lot of young players. And everybody says 3 is a dynasty. We got 3, and we're not going to stop there. We're going to keep rolling.
And I hope Coach comes back for you as well.
Oh, Coach is going to be back. He's not leaving until he lets me know way in advance, and he hadn't let me know.
Yeah, so if you're look, and I'm not, I know there's a lot of anger around this Kansas City Chiefs team, and that tends to happen when you get a team that wins a lot. I've never really looked at it that way per se. I look at it from the perspective of my own team, which is the Cleveland Browns, and it's like we actually have a team that's starting to be able to compete in the playoffs, and now we got to look at these dudes for the next however many years that's going to be. I mentioned it the other day, in the 90s when my Cavaliers teams were probably had the second best team in the NBA, but the first best team was in your own division, and they were the Chicago Bulls with the best player in the world.
It's so simple. Look, it's very, very simple. I'm not sure why people overcomplicate this concept, but when you're the underdog, everybody rallies. Who's the favorite team in the NCAA tournament for the first 4 rounds? Not once you get to the Final Four, because people want to see the big boys win the Final Four. But in the first 4 rounds of the NCAA tournament, every single building that's hosting those games, the underdog gets the loudest cheers.
Right.
Now, you look at Andy Reid, you look at that Chiefs team, you look at that organization. When they first were coming up 6-7 years ago, DK, everybody in the country wanted to see Andy Reid get his Super Bowl. Everybody was rooting for the Chiefs. But then when you win 2, when you go to 3 out of 4, you go from being the underdog to being the hunted or huntee, and that whole thing. And so now people are sick of the Chiefs because they've had too much success over a short period of time, and now there's celebrities involved, and that's what we're looking at right here.
Now there are celebrities involved. I like the way you put that right there. All right, let's go back to the phones and talk to Sam. Sam, you are on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Shout out to the Wildcats. Bear down. Great weekend for us at the Wildcats. But talk about yesterday's game. My thing is coaches made a huge mistake. I know you talked a little bit about the beginning of the show, but you have to play defense. If you won the toss, you have to. Because what it does, there's already pressure at overtime. I know you guys mentioned that. There's already pressure. But you give somebody experienced quarterback like Patrick Mahomes knowing that he has an extra down. Think about it. What was the pressure when they were going for the touchdown that last drive? Hey, if we don't make it, so what? We're in field goal range. It's all good. There's no pressure to score that touchdown at that point. I'm telling you, if it was opposite, I guarantee you 49ers would have won that game. That's my feeling on it. It's good. Did you know in college that 90% of the teams that play, that's why they all pick defense when they flip. And whoever wins that flip, usually they used to say, hey, we have a better shot at winning. Why wouldn't you not do that? So that's my frustration. I thought it was a very well coached game except for that last thing. And I'm not sure even the players were told that if you win it, to go ahead and do that. I think they were looking at the old way of NFL thinking you only get one shot to go down and score. But on the new rules, you have to know that.
That came out today, right? That the Chiefs players and coaching staff, they had been for a couple of weeks planning for that new style, whereas on the other side, some of the 49ers players said they didn't know how the new rules work.
I didn't even know that they could have run out the quarter, and it goes to another quarter.
I've seen a lot of highlights like the Mahomes timeout. I've seen highlights where it says Mahomes scores a touchdown as time expires. I'm like, no, that's not how any of this works.
No, exactly. Anyways, great show, guys. I just wanted to leave you that thought. I actually think the coach needs to come on and say he owns that, because I promise you that wouldn't happen again. If he looked back and we had the same scenario, hypothetically, he would have definitely played defense first.
All right,
Thanks,
Sam.
guys. Love the show.
All right, thanks, Sam. Good thoughts right there. I appreciate your call. Kyle Shanahan now has lost 2 Super Bowls to the Chiefs. And a lot of people don't remember. I believe he was the offensive coordinator for the Falcons when they blew the 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl to the Patriots. So he's not had a lot of success as Kyle Shanahan in the big game, per se. Let's talk to T-Money. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, I don't know what stage of grief I'm in right now, but as a Niner fan, this is pretty bad. But yeah, it goes to that third and 4? And we decided not to block one of the most overrated players in the league, and he disrupted the play. But why don't we go for it on that 4th down? That's what I want to know. You need a first down. That's all you need. But, Shanahan blew it. And 49er fan base he's paying dearly for this. And we're a proud organization with as many Super Bowl wins as the Chiefs have gone to. But the reason why people are turning on Kansas City is because they're cringy and they're nerdy and they're obnoxious. It's like, come on, dude, even Midwestern, come on, give me a break. But anyway, Niners can get their stuff together and end this thing. But Kermit the Frog, do your thing, dude. Do your thing. You earned it. And it'll come to an end sooner or later, and the Chiefs will be the Chiefs once again.
Well, let's as a Browns fan, T-Money, I hope it happens sooner rather than later, for sure. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, someone decides to play. Take care, guys.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
It's all perspective, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think every fan base thinks most other fan bases are obnoxious.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Oh, yeah.
And when you get a little success, the issue there, being from Cleveland, if the Cavs won 3 out of the next 5, at first it would be elation because they did it, in a LeBron-less era.
Yeah.
And they did it, the right way. And then after 3 to 5 years, you would have to deal with the plethora of Chicago Bulls fans who didn't want to see the Cleveland Cavaliers win anymore. And it would just be, history repeating itself, but from the other direction, right? Like that level of success is always going to breed contempt from other fan bases that want to see, their teams hold that trophy.
Let's hear Travis Kelce do a little singing.
Cheese Kingdom! Y'all hear this? We've been fighting for all right all day. How about a little Viva Las Vegas? Viva Las Vegas! Viva! Viva Las Vegas! Woo!
Hey, Elvis never had it better than that right there. Let me tell you.
Didn't he? I think that was more yelling, I think, than singing, probably.
Elvis never had Taylor Swift on his arm either, did he?
Yeah, man. Well, I think he did okay.
You know, I would take again, Taylor was at the game. She was there with Blake Lively. Remember, she was at the Monday night game in New York with Blake Lively. I would take Blake Lively in the NFL every Sunday over Taylor Swift, every Sunday, and Mondays too, if need be, because Blake Lively is that is a beautiful woman right there.
Maybe, I mean, again, it's just recency bias. So I mean, all anybody can talk about is Taylor Swift and Kelsey, but I mean, Ryan Reynolds and her are a pretty big couple as well. I mean,
pretty big.
Yeah, pretty darn big.
Pretty darn big.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Pretty darn big in that acting community. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We are going to talk some rodeo. We're going to the rodeo this year. We are going to be at the rodeo a week from Friday. We're taking the show to the rodeo. Who's going to get me my Stetson? I don't have a Stetson, so I need a Stetson so that I can have it and I can wear it when we take the show to the rodeo next Friday. That's a week from this Friday, the 23rd. We are going to be at the Tucson Rodeo. We'll talk to Jose Calderon about that coming up. But first, Cricket gets you home with your traffic and weather every 20 minutes on the 5s.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With collisions reported at Grant and Dodge Boulevard and Grant Road, Oracle and Ina, a crash near the airport at Valencia and Tucson Boulevard in Oro Valley, Naranja Drive east of La Cañada. Also, there was a wreck reported on Catalina Highway near milepost 3. Mostly clear skies and 41 tonight, sunny, 70 tomorrow, and 65 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Now during Staples Sit-a-thon, you can save up to $180 on select chairs, desk chairs, computer chairs, even gaming chairs. In store only, off rents 3-2. See associates for details. Stop by Staples today and grab a seat.
At Blue Moon, we craft our beer with Valencia orange peel and coriander for a brighter flavor that's one of a kind every time. So we decided to craft a one-of-a-kind radio ad using just those ingredients. Orange peel, coriander, 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 orange peel, orange peel, orange peel, orange peel, orange peel. Okay, you know what? Maybe we should just stick to crafting one-of-a-kind beers. Blue Moon, one of a kind, every time. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Co., Golden, Colorado.
Berwick Insurance Group is proud to sponsor Arizona athletics. For over 25 years, Berwick has helped Wildcat fans with their health insurance needs. Berwick Insurance will help you stay ahead of the game with solid coverage. Just like a great coach, Berwick's experienced agents will make sure you have the right strategy for a winning game plan. Don't handle health insurance by yourself. Berwick Insurance is your answer to healthcare. Learn more about your options at berwickinsurance.com. That's berwickinsurance.com.
What up, Tucson? This is Joseph Blair, former Wildcat and assistant coach of the Washington Wizards. When I came to play basketball at the U of A in the 90s, the Tucson community became and has always remained a special part of my life. And this is why I proudly joined the Meridian Wealth Management Tucson Advisory Business Council. If you have financial questions or concerns, please be sure and call my friends Natalie or Ruben Fernandez at 719-1433 or visit online at Meridian Wealth LLC. And as always, bear down, Tucson.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. Dayquil Kids Berry from Vicks. Dayquil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that Dayquil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
Dayquil Kids Berry. The kids' berrylicious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. And now, during our President's Day sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Make sure you download or update the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. We've got the entire state covered like no other sports radio station in southern Arizona. Plus, when you have the app, you can cover U of A sports with Wildcats Radio 1290 anywhere and everywhere you go and out of town, too. The mountains, the beach, working out, or maybe even...
Oh, no. Turn that off.
Download or update the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today and never miss a moment of sports analysis. Well, maybe an occasional moment. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
If you've struggled for years to lose weight and have given up hope, did you know you can now access GLP-1 prescription medications through LifeMD? LifeMD is now offering eligible patients online access to GLP-1s, the breakthrough prescription medication that can help you lose body fat and weight. Listen to what people are saying.
It's fun to put on jeans that you couldn't get into 6 months ago.
Every morning, I look forward to getting on the scale. For anybody who's struggling with their weight, it's a godsend.
And here's the best part. Your insurance may cover 100% of the cost of your medication. So go to TryLifeMD.com to have your eligibility checked right now. Get started today at TryLifeMD.com. That's TryLifeMD.com.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is our phone number to get in on the show. We'll get back to our talk on the Super Bowl a little bit later, as well as your Arizona Wildcats, football, men's basketball, women's basketball. Women's basketball plays tonight, as a matter of fact, out in Los Angeles against number 10 Southern California. But we are almost upon, it is February here in Tucson, and in February in Tucson, that means La Fiesta de los Vaqueros. The Tucson Rodeo is upon us, and we are pleased to be joined by Jose Calderon. He is the chairman of the Tucson Rodeo. Now, Jose, welcome to the show. You have been the chairman before. What made you decide to be the chairman again?
Well, they roped me in again, didn't they? I tell you.
I like the way you put that. They roped you in again.
They did. They put me out to pasture, and they opened the gate again, let me back in again. So, yeah, I had the opportunity in 17, 18, 19, and all of a sudden here we are again. But you know what? There's times situations change in our committees and the dynamics, everything else, and sometimes you just got to cowboy up and do what you're supposed to do. And here we are again. But I tell you one thing, it's always an honor, and it's always just I get excited about it. So whatever role I play out here, I'm going to do the best I can. So it's where I need to be.
Man, you are coming up with all the terminology here. They roped you in. You got a cowboy up. I mean, you are ready for this 99th event, 99th Tucson Rodeo. Now, is that 99 true years, or do there years they had it twice, or are we looking at 100 years next year?
Well, the 100 years coming. It's coming. It's coming regardless right now. So, I'll tell you one thing. What a tradition. And we must be doing something right, because our event gets bigger and bigger and more popular. And I'll tell you one thing. I have to look back on the founders of this thing in 1925. Did they ever think it was going to be something so big out here? We have over 700 PRCA rodeos in this country, and we're in the top 25. And we're the largest outdoor winter rodeo. So this is a spot where the Cowboys and Cowgirls want to win Tucson right after the national finals in Vegas. They need to win Tucson because that's a big, big step for them right there. So we get the best of the best coming to Tucson.
It's interesting. A lot of people, think about the events around the rodeo and the parade and all that, but maybe a lot of people don't necessarily realize, hey, this is, in terms of the competition, how huge it really is for those guys when they're coming in here to compete in this event.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have the cream of the crop. I mean, this is it. We, people get turned away. We have almost close to 700 contestants run through our gates for this 6 days performances here in Tucson.
Wow.
And when they miss that list right there, it hurts. And so it's so important. And like I said, we try to do everything and we do everything right, and we just hope that Mother Nature cooperates with us. But guess what? I think Mother Nature is going to be really nice with us this weekend, this first weekend, which is huge because on that first Sunday we have Chicks and Chaps, of course, which is tough enough to wear pink for breast awareness, cancer, and so we're proud. Plus, we're going to have the entire University of Arizona football team come out to the arena, and the coaches are going to come in a wagon. I'm going to give him a hat. And we're so proud of that team right there for this fantastic year they had, and them getting that Alamo Bowl. We are excited to have them on board here the first Sunday, which will be the 18th.
All right. Well, you know what I want to see, Jose. I want to see a linebacker up there on one of them bucking Broncos. You think we can make that happen?
You know what? I'll tell you one thing. There's some big boys, and we did the whole tour. Ricky Huntley took me for a great tour. We asked everybody, we're looking for a bull rider, and they all said, nope, no. And these guys are something else. These guys are big boys and everything, but nobody wanted to sign up, man. I tell you, it was funny, and they just kind of walked away. They said, no, I don't even see no recruiting here.
We're talking with Jose Calderon. He is the chairman of the Tucson Rodeo. And, Jose, obviously, you mentioned, 2 weekends. Many people just come out for the second weekend, though. What do you guys got going on for the first weekend that people really maybe want to try to come out this weekend?
Well, we tried to tell people this used to be a 4-day rodeo. That's why it started on parade Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But we got so big that we had to open the doors. Now we're a 6-day performance, which is incredible. So that first weekend, we tell everybody it's going to be the same thing you see in the last weekend. Nothing changes. It's the same stock of the great contestants, the same performance. Everybody's points count the same that first weekend as does second. Tucson, it's hard to plan a picnic sometimes out here. So people look out their door and they say, you know what? It's going to be a great day. Let's do it. So I take advantage of that first weekend. Get in here. Get your tickets early because I'll tell you right now, people know the weather's going to be great, and they're waiting for something outdoors right now, and this is it. You better get down to TucsonRodeo.com and get your tickets or come down to the rodeo office. If you're old school like I am, I still like to pull up to a window and say, can I have 2 tickets, please? And I'm here on Oracle and on Irvington and 6, from 8 to 4. Come on, get it right now. But I encourage people to come that first weekend because I know you're going to like it so much. You're going to come back for the second weekend as well.
Do you ever, Jose, go anywhere else where people are marveled? I remember when I first moved here in 2008, I was marveled by the fact that schools are let out for the parade on Thursday. I was like, they let kids out of school? That's how big an event this is. Do people ever ask you that when you go around and you ask, and you represent the rodeo and that they're marveled that it's such a big event that they let kids out of school for it?
Oh, they're blown away all the time. They look at me like they're like, what? Are you serious? We're the only rodeo in the PRC that does that. And yeah, people get blown away from that right there. And the neat thing about that whole thing is, what happened was when this rodeo started in 1925, Leighton Kramer started this thing, and he was trying to figure out we need to keep the snowbirds here in Tucson longer. We don't want them to go back home. And that's why he started this rodeo here in late February to keep the tourists and the snowbirds here a little bit longer, enjoy a great winter out here, and get to see a great show. So the dates haven't changed, and we've been playing that February rodeo for 99 years coming up here.
I mean, that's it's unbelievable when you talk about the length and the history of what we've got going on with this whole thing. What's your favorite event? Is there a specific event that you like to watch?
I get this question asked, what's my favorite part of the rodeo? And I'll tell you one thing, people may not believe me, but I say this all the time. I love the rodeo. I enjoy the sport. I enjoy the contestants. I love the setup and everything else. But the greatest part for me, I kid you not, is when they open those gates up, when I see those parents bringing in their kids or the grandparents, those grandparents, generation after generation have been coming. Let me tell you right now, every little young boy and girl always want to be a cowboy or cowgirl one time in their life when they're little. And guess what? Now that we're all grown up, you may wear a suit to tie at work or you may wear whatever it is. Everybody gets to play that part for one day, and they get to enjoy it. That kid comes out of them. They get all dressed up and you get their shoes all shined up. I don't know why you shine your boots out in the rodeo. They're going to get all dirty. That's the whole idea, right? But I'll tell you one thing. To me, there's nothing better when I see all these kids just running around and just having a blast, because we are a family event. We are a family event, and we try to keep this all as affordable as we can, and we've been very proud with that, because we know just going to a movie, two people with popcorn and soda, is very expensive these days. So we try to keep everything as low key as well, and we do a pretty good job. But I do encourage people, call the rodeo office, talk to me, the chairperson, whoever it may be. Let us know your ideas. We love to hear your input. And if you want to be a part of this, because what we're going to be doing now with this next for the future, we want to start really reaching out to the community and start doing more community events out here at the Tucson Rodeo Grounds. And that's our goal, because it seems so sad just to utilize this place for one time a year and the rest of it's a ghost town. We want to start opening our doors and start doing things. And a lot of it's going to be going through our foundation and helping others that need. So we're excited about that.
You mentioned that, Jose, in terms of like what to maybe, uses for the grounds outside of just this one time of year. Is there, I guess, I don't know if there's any type of, I know that, the rodeo has its competitive divisions. Is there any type of maybe local competitive division that could be started where you're having, like kind of like what we have out at the racetrack, where you have races every two weeks, where you guys have competitions every 2 weeks with local competitors and that kind of thing? I mean, I would imagine they maybe have done that in the past, or no?
We would love to do that. We want to open the doors, like I said, to a lot of equestrian events, because this is the perfect arena. This is one of the biggest arenas that you can do out here. And like I said, yeah, would love to have something like that. Back in the day when it all started out here, of course, that's what they used to do. It was a derby track out here. And I don't know if most people know, too, but this was the first airport in Tucson was here at the Tucson Rodeo Grounds. And some of those Quonset hut buildings that you see out there, those are the original out there. So we are trying to get with the city, and the city, we have gained such a respect with the city and the Tucson Rodeo Committee that the city is just letting us know, hey, I think you guys are ready to be a turnkey type of committee where we can start doing things here. And we're ready for it. We have the people, we have the Army, we're set up, and we want to do more. It's the rodeo is just a short event for us, and it's gone. But we got these young people that are coming out right now, just getting so engaged that this is a perfect opportunity to do so much more throughout the whole year. And so we're ready for it. We're ready for any challenges.
He is Jose Calderon. He's joining us. He is the chairman of the Tucson Rodeo, La Fiesta de los Vaqueros. And I've got a picture of you up on our video stream right now, Jose. You're wearing a white hat. And then I was looking at the website, and all you guys are in the black hats. So do you like to wear the white hat, or do you like to wear the black hat?
I tell you, it just depends what I'm in the mood for. Sometimes I'm the good guy, and sometimes I'm the bad guy, right? So, no, you know what? I'll tell you one thing. I wear different color hats, and I enjoy it. But if you see me out at the rodeo, you're going to see me. I got the biggest grin out here at the whole rodeo grounds, and I got a big laugh and a big smile. And I'll tell you one thing. No matter what color hat I'm wearing, you're going to recognize me out here. And I tell people, please, I love to meet people. Come on, people come up to me and say, hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for this great show that you put on here. And any of our committee members, we tell, just if you see somebody in a committee shirt, you know what? Introduce yourself to them and let us know if you have any questions. But we're just a fun bunch out here.
When you guys tell us a little bit about the Grand Marshal for this year, how that selection process takes place. I know you guys have, Adia Barnes was a Grand Marshal a few years ago. I know my guy Dan Maurice over at Channel 13 has been a Grand Marshal before. How do those people get selected for that position?
Well, that right there is a completely different committee, because that's the parade committee. And a lot of people think that the parade and rodeo are all one, and we're not. We're two separate entities. And the parade committee is a whole completely different committee, even though we both share the same purpose out here of bringing this tradition out here. So they have their own group, and they probably got about 5 people on the waiting list that they're selecting. It's going to be interesting who they're going to pick for the 100. And I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be a big one. And me personally, I told the committee one time, I said, heck, for the 100, why don't just that whole parade committee be it? You guys have been doing this for 100 years.
Yeah.
Be proud of it, and maybe it's time for you guys to be that grand marshal of your own party. And but I'm sure they're going to have somebody else selected on that. But they have their own committee that does that right there.
What's the best food people can get out there this weekend?
Oh God, man! Just like anything else, the diet is out the window, and you can forget it, man. I worked 2 months to get back into my jeans, and I'll tell you one thing: those 6 days, you give me a big old thing of curly fries and a nice cold beverage, and I'll be good with that right there.
It is the La Fiesta de los Vericados Tucson Rodeo coming up February the 17th through the 25th. Things will get started this weekend. 6 rodeo performances this Saturday, this Sunday, and then next Thursday through Sunday. Gates open at 11 o'clock. Lots of great stuff happening. Junior rodeos are happening out there. Pro rodeos will get started most days on competition days at 2 p.m. Jose, hey, we appreciate you taking a few moments to join us. Look forward to seeing you. We're going to bring the show out there next Friday, the 23rd. We look forward to seeing you guys out there.
It's always fun talking to you, my friend. Thank you so much for all you do and your support. And if you need anything, be sure you give me a holler.
I need a hat. Can you give me
I
don't have a hat.
You just send me your hat size.
I will send you my hat size. All right.
You got it, my friend.
We'll see you next week, Jose.
Take care, my friend. Adios.
Jose Calderon, the chairman of La Fiesta de los Vaqueros, the Tucson Rodeo, Arizona's celebration of the cowboy. You got a hat, J-Dub?
I do. I have to dust it off, though.
Ooh.
It's
okay.
in a minute. I don't have any cattle is the problem. So if I go out there, yeah.
You don't just go around town. It's funny. Well, I'll talk about this in the next half hour.
As a native of Southern Arizona and of Tucson specifically, I wore a cowboy hat around, I feel like I would be pretending. Although I have ridden a lot of horses and enjoyed my time, even did some barrel racing in my days. I have never actually done that on a farm as a job. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And so I feel like the cowboy hat's a little disingenuous. But yeah, no, I have one hat somewhere. I'd have to dust it off. It's on one of my top shelves.
I've got an interesting, just like an off the cuff cowboy hat story. I'll talk about that in the next hour. It's DK on the Sports Tip with J.W. Madden and Cricket. My name is David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With collisions reported Dodge Boulevard and Grant Road, near the airport, Valencia and Tucson Boulevard, and to the northwest side, Oracle and Ina, and another crash Naranja Drive east of La Cañada. 41 and clear overnight, sunny, 70 tomorrow and 65 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. At Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, they'll help you with any air conditioning, drain, or pipe issues. Trust the big guy. Contact Tucson's most respected AC and plumbing experts anytime at coolwillies.com, where they are big enough to help and small enough to care. That's coolwillies.com.
I don't think people understand how much cool air escapes into their walls and attic.
Or how much extra that costs you every month.
If only there was a way to explain how Alaskan AC keeps that from happening. It's kind of like that.
Did you seriously just AeroSeal Gary's mouth?
Notice how almost no air is getting through?
True.
You're right, Gary. Only Alaskan AC includes AeroSeal with every AC system we sell. It keeps the cool in your home, not in your walls and attic.
He said all that? What'd he say now?
You're probably paying 20 to 50% more than you have to. You'll see savings from your new AeroSeal included systems the very first year.
I had no idea Gary knew so much about AeroSeal.
It's a big part of how we customize heating and air systems so people are comfortable in every room.
I gotta hand it to you, Gary. You know how to make a good point.
A regular pro at this.
Oh, that's right.
Forgot the most important part.
AeroSeal, included with every system at Alaskan AC.
We get you so close to the action at McHale, it feels like Wilbur and Wilma are in the car with you. This is the home of Arizona men's basketball. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This just in, Goodfellas AC is matching up to $2,000 on federal tax credit. Whoa, seriously? This is unbelievable. I gotta call Floyd at Goodfellas.
Hello, Goodfellas. Floyd speaking.
Is it true about the $2,000?
It sure is. Homeowners like you may qualify for a 30% federal tax credit up to $2,000 on qualifying heat pumps. And Goodfellas will match the tax credit dollar for dollar up to $2,000. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Attention Tucson. Remember, if it's game day and the Wildcats are taking the floor, you can count on 1290 to bring you all the play-by-play action, the biggest pre- and post-game show in the Pac-12. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
That doesn't sound good.
Paper shredder's jammed, but I think I fixed it.
Oh, well, try shredding these $50 bills then.
Seems like it's working.
Better try another $400.
Stop. Instead of using money, use regular paper. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Brakes? We can save you 15% on that. We have OE quality Duralast brake pads and rotors in stock, ready for pickup or delivery. We also have calipers, brake fluid, tools, and anything else you'll need to do the job right. When you get Duralast pads and rotors together, you'll save 15%. It's just part of what makes us America's #1 brakes destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
You may not have any experience dealing with car wrecks, but Lerner and Rowe does. After your car wreck, you need an attorney to make sure your interests, like car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages, are protected. Finding the right attorney is actually easy. Just look for reputation, experience, and results. Lerner and Rowe has thousands of 5-star reviews, decades of experience, and we've recovered billions of dollars for our injured clients. Hurt in a wreck and need a check? Call Lerner and Rowe today.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket, getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Rebound, Keyshawn Johnson. Arizona breakaway to Love. De Silva trying to catch him, and Love won't let it happen. Two-hand hammer.
Big time finish by Caleb Love in the open court. Arizona, excellent job defensively, not fouling on that last play, allowing that dunk to happen.
93-75 Wildcats.
Talk about the hammer. Arizona putting the hammer down on the Mountain Schools this weekend on the basketball court. Triple overtime, a win over the Utah Utes. You think they're going to be tired, heavy legs, going into Boulder, and all they do in Boulder is bring out the whooping stick and win by 20, scoring 99 points against a Boulder team, a Buffalo team in Boulder that had not lost at home, having won 13 straight games, a program record, 13 in a row this season, with 7 straight home wins against the conference, had Colorado coming into that game. And the Wildcats absolutely made a statement, winning 99-79 on Saturday to sweep the mountain road trip, solidifying first place, heading home to face the rivals this Saturday, and then what is likely going to be a Pac-12 regular season championship matchup the following weekend against the red-hot Washington State Cougars. Let's hear all the highlights from that game Saturday in Boulder.
Throw it cross court over to Boswell. Kylan driving left of the lane. Dish it up off the glass and good. A pretty shot for Kylan Boswell. He's got 7 to open things up. Waiting for that screen. Gets it. Fire it back high to Love. Squares a deep 3 is good. Caleb Love, his first field goal of the game. O'Brien driving on Krivas. Right to lane. Ball knocked away and stolen by Bradley. Bradley on the run for the Wildcats, right into Simpson. Lay it up and good. Oh, my. What a shot from Jaden Bradley. Cats with the ball back the other way. Larson out top. Takes the dribble right. Step back. Three. Up and good. Pella Larson, Alexis of Tucson. Charity three, his second of the night. 11 points for Pella here in the first half. Under 3 to go in the first half. Buffalo's trying to make a run here. They're down by 10. De Silva for 3. That's good.
Yeah, transition 3. De Silva's filling a little bit, trying to reel his team here.
Boswell pump fake the 3. Step up, shoot another 3. This one around and up. Ballo there to slam home the rebound for 2 more. Timeout, Colorado. 4 minutes into the second half. Bradley out top. Spin move. Drives right lane. Underneath. Pella. Good. And he's fouled. Oh, my. Pella Larson. What a road trip. Nobody guarding the baseline. They throw it into Love in the right corner. Love works it out to the wing. A fadeaway 3 is good. Caleb Love is lighting up the event center. 17 points and a 20-point Arizona lead. Borovichin with the ball. 6 to shoot. Philly B into the lane, turns there, has got to shoot the ball to Krivas, turn around, gets it off, and it rolls in for 2. Oh, my. Martinez will bring it up court. Simpson picking him up there. Around a high screen from Ballo. Driving all the way to the bucket and laying it in for Conrad Martinez. Shot short, rebound out to Love, hand it to Boswell. Deep 3, up and good. Kylan Boswell drains Alexis of Tucson Charity 3, and a big one there. Down the lane, Cody Williams will lay it up, missed it, no good. Rebound, Keyshawn Johnson. Arizona breakaway to Love. De Silva trying to catch him, and Love won't let it happen. Two-hand hammer.
Big time finish by Caleb Love in the open court. Arizona, excellent job defensively, not fouling on that last play, allowing that dunk to happen.
93-75 Wildcats. Hammond with the ball for Colorado. To Simpson, slip. The Wildcats will stay alone in first place, beating Utah and Colorado on the road. Sweeping this road trip. Doing it impressive style tonight. Coming off a 3 overtime game on Thursday. They get it done in regulation tonight, crushing the Buffaloes. 99-79 the final here.
5 players scored in double figures Saturday night, led by Caleb Love's 19 points. Pella Larson, 18 points. 15 for Kylan Boswell. 16 for Umar Ballo to go along with 13 rebounds. 14 off the bench for Jaden Bradley. As the Wildcats beat up on the Buffaloes, they are 9-3 in conference play through 12 games with 8 left to go. 2 of those will be against the rival, including this Saturday at McHale Center. This Saturday night, only 1 game this week. Yeah, that game will start at 7:30 on Saturday night. Our coverage will begin at 3:30 here on Wildcats Radio 1290. And J-Dub, as we hypothesized, Pella Larson is your Pac-12 Conference Player of the Week.
Gets inbound at baseline left into Krivas. Holds it on the left wing to Pella. Open shot. It is up and it is good. Pella Larson drains Alexis of Tucson Charity 3. In his last 2 trips here back to Utah, just 1 of 10 from the floor. That had to feel good. And the rebound, KJ Lewis for the Wildcats. Lewis, quick feed down to Bradley. Touch pass down to Larson. Pella slam it home.
What an absolutely beautiful break there by the Wildcats. The ball never touched the floor.
Need some help now. Somebody's got to come and get the ball. Bounce pass off to Larson. Down the lane. Lay it up and good. Oh, boy, nobody got in front of him. Pella just laid it in for 2 more. And Pella, big game here. 19 points in his last game. Former Ute. 2-3 zone for Utah. Larson top of the key to Johnson. In the lane to Boswell. Turns on Cada. Nowhere to go. Shovel it to Larson. Down the lane. Laid up and good. 21 points for Pella Larson. Now the Wildcats put the play in motion. 10 on the shot clock. Love drives right. Hook it to Larson. Down the lane. Shot swatted away. Goaltending on Cada. Pella Larson with 2 points. And Arizona up by 8. Since the second half started, Pella Larson has really been Arizona's driving force. 21 of his 26 points since intermission. Cats with the ball back the other way. Larson out top, takes the dribble right. Step back, 3, up and good. Pella Larson, Alexis of Tucson, charity three, his second of the night. 11 points for Pella here in the first half. 4 minutes into the second half. Bradley out top, spin move, drives right lane, underneath Pella, good, and he's fouled. Oh my, Pella Larson, what a road trip.
What a road trip.
What a road trip to the Rocky Mountains. Pella Larson scored 27 against Utah, scored, as we mentioned, 18 against Colorado, averaged 23 points, 5 assists, 3 steals, and shot 61% from the floor in those 2 victories for the Arizona Wildcats. He's the 4th different Wildcat to be named Player of the Week this season. Kylan Boswell earned the first award November 13th. Umar Ballo on December 26th. Caleb Love on January the 8th. It's funny because we look at, and we've been talking about it again, the freshman of the week was Miles Rice, the outstanding guard from Washington State. And we've been talking about the women's side and how every week it's been Juju Watkins, Juju Watkins, Juju Watkins. But on the men's side, it has been pretty much a different player every week. And you got to love the fact that every time it's a Wildcat, it's a different player.
Yeah.
That really shows the balance. And that's something that's been a common theme with this Arizona men's team all year long, going back to the beginning where we talked about, how many guys were averaging 10-plus points at the beginning of the year. And you're seeing that same balance here in that Pella Larson is the 4th Wildcat to win the Conference Player of the Week
I think,
award.
yeah, life is about learning as you mature. And I feel like Tommy Lloyd was on some teams up there in Spokane where they had maybe 1 or 2 primary options. And when those guys got shut down, maybe in the NCAA tournament, the other Zags struggled if those 2 guys' water got shut off. And maybe that was 10, 15 years ago, right? But what we see today is we see Caleb Love getting 22 in the first half and coach saying, okay, slow it down a little bit. And so you're talking about the 4 different Wildcats as Player of the Week. That's the philosophy of this program. The program is balance, having 5 threats on the court at the same time. And so the best shot is the open shot. And I feel like Pella, when he has, Pella has always been a guy who takes what the defense gives him. And in those 2 games, clearly they were more concerned about some of the other options Arizona had. And Pella found himself being able to streak down the lane, as you heard there a few times. Obviously, he's always capable of hitting that open shot. He's never going to force his own. He's never going to look for his own or try to call his own number. I mean, hell, he had, 8 assists in that game to go with his 27 points. However, when a situation like that happens, you're going to see Pella step up. Obviously, he's not afraid of those big moments. And, yeah, I love it. I love seeing 4 different players being the Player of the Week, DK, because when you're trying to put together a scout as the opponent, and you're looking for guys you want to slow down, it's either that situation where let Steph get his, when there's let Giannis do Giannis, because we're not, he can go ahead and do his thing. We're not going to send 3 defenders because that leads to open looks for everybody else. We're just going to let them have theirs. But when you have a situation like this with so much balance, there's really nothing you can take away. You just have to worry about your individual matchups defensively. That's what you heard a lot of the Colorado players saying pregame before that game was, let's make sure we focus on our individual matchups because there isn't a defensive strategy to try to shut down this Arizona offense, let alone any of those individual players, because the best look is the open look.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number if you want to get in on this conversation about Arizona men's basketball. Again, the Wildcats will play at home this Saturday against the Arizona State Sun Devils. It'll be the first of the 2 meetings between the rivals. Looking forward to getting them in the building. They got a win finally. Had lost 5 in a row, had the Devils, before they were able to go over to Utah and take advantage of a Utah team that had a difficult 3 overtime loss to the Wildcats. I mean, we always talk about how, you'd like to see the Sun Devils fatten up some opponents for the Wildcats. Well, the Wildcats certainly fattened up an opponent for the Sun Devils.
The Wildcats have been fattening up opponents for the Sun Devils my entire lifetime. My entire lifetime. When Arizona and ASU have gone on the road as travel partners, if they're going to places like Southern California, no disrespect to your Trojans, but UCLA is almost always the better of those 2. And so if they play them first, Arizona State has always gotten a little bit more tired. Bruins team. 2 things really quick. Arizona up to 5th in today's AP poll. They were 8th.
We talked about that. Would it be 5? And it is.
8th and last. And another thing to point out, the Sycamores from Indiana State are ranked 23rd in this week's poll, DK.
Yeah.
This is the first AP poll that the Sycamores have been in
since Bird
left campus.
Wow.
79, I think, was when that was.
That's awesome.
Their first AP regular season poll, Indiana State 22-3 on the year, just ahead of Florida Atlantic in this week's AP poll. First AP poll for the Sycamores since Larry Bird left campus.
That's awesome. I grew up in that footprint, that Missouri Valley Conference footprint in Bloomington Normal, Illinois State. So we would always play Indiana State. This was in the 5 or 6 to 7 years after the Larry Bird phenomenon. So they still had a pretty large brand there in the Midwest. So that's really good to hear. Always good to hear those schools
I know a lot of younger people, they question how good really was Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Look no further than the Sycamores, if you don't know, were ranked number 1 in the country in their final poll that he was on campus and have not been ranked in a poll since. So they were the number 1 ranked team in the country, the last poll that Larry Bird was a player there, and have not been ranked since.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Wildcats Radio 1290 and Coors Light want to send you to the men's basketball tournament for the Pac-12 in Las Vegas in about a month. In fact, it'll start 1 month from tomorrow. Head on over to our website, wildcatsradio1290.com, right now to sign up for this opportunity. Here's the grand prize. 2 all-session passes to the Pac-12 men's basketball tournament, $1,000 in cash cards. You can use that money however you want to. If you want to take DK to dinner in Las Vegas, if DK happens to be there, you could use some of that money to do that. Hey, DK, I won. Why don't you come out? I'm going to take you and get you a steak dinner.
Well done.
I like well done. Exactly. Absolutely. Well is how we do it. However you want to spend that money, that's your choice, but we're going to give you $1,000 in cash cards. So head on over right now to our website, wildcatsradio1290.com. Sign up. All the information is there, contest rules and all of that. 2 all-session passes to the Pac-12 men's basketball tournament, March 13th through the 16th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, and $1,000 in cash cards to spend. Good luck from Coors Light and Wildcats Radio 1290. All right, JW mentioned Steph Curry. Steph Curry is a part of our question of the day. We'll tell you about that next after Cricket gets you home with traffic and weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. With a collision reported Catalina Highway, milepost 3 on Catalina Highway, near milepost 3 for a wreck. Also clearing Grant and Dodge Boulevard and Grant Road, Oracle and Ina, also Valencia and Tucson Boulevard and Valencia. Crash on Speedway Boulevard to the west of Stone Avenue. And for our weather, clear skies and 41 the low, sunny 70 tomorrow and 65 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. At Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, they'll help you with any air conditioning, drain, or pipe issues. Trust the big guy. Contact Tucson's most respected AC and plumbing experts anytime at coolwillies.com, where they are big enough to help and small enough to care. That's coolwillies.com.
The very best in play-by-play is on Tucson's best sports station, Wildcats Radio 1290. This is the home of the Wildcats and NFL play-by-play. This is the one and only Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our beautiful Arizona winter weather brings cooler overnight temperatures, which means some of you are now seeing your vehicle's low-pressure warning light. Colder overnight temperatures can lower your tire's pressure just enough to trigger a warning light. But don't worry, many times the solution is simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. Then get back to enjoying the fantastic winter weather. If adding the air doesn't do the trick, stop by any of our 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with the low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Mention this radio offer for free installation with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor. We'll install it in your wheel and rebalance your tires absolutely free. You'll find even more specials to get your car road trip ready at jackfurriers.com. So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just drop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Sick and tired of achy joints? Dread the idea of surgery? You need to call QC Kinetics today. Hi, it's David Kelly. Now listen, the state of healthcare is always changing. The old ideas like steroids and surgery are no longer your only options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. QC Kinetics' advanced state-of-the-art treatments harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with absolutely no downtime. Make 2024 the year you reclaim your mobility, reclaim your independence. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 2 locations, one off of Academy, one off of Orange Grove. 520-497-4955. 520-497-4955. Call QC Kinetics right now.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
This President's Day, score monumental savings at Royal Kia. Lease a new 24 Kia Forte for $134 a month with $39.99 due at signing. Monumental savings. Get 0.9% APR financing for 48 months on either the 23 Kia Sorento or the electric 24 Kia EV6. Monumental savings. Or lease the EV6 for $292 per month with $39.99 due at signing. The savings are monumental this month at Royal Kia. EV6 K29434, Sorento K29409, Forte K29634. Leases $650 acquisition fee. No security deposit. Mileage charge of 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year. All offers OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Must finance with Kia Motors Finance. See dealer for details. Offers end 3/4/24. Monumental savings at Royal Kia. Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
Android users, you can tune in to the home of the Wildcats by downloading our new app at the Google Play Store so you can tune in wherever you are 24 hours a day. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Here come the screens. Curry comes free. Gets the ball, puts up a three-pointer. Bang! Steph Curry nails the three-pointer with 7/10 of a second remaining.
Steph Curry doing Steph Curry things on Saturday night to beat the Phoenix Suns in San Francisco, spoiling an opportunity for the Suns to sweep the season series from the Warriors, something they had not done since 2010. Warriors win the game 113-112. They end the 3-game win streak for the Phoenix Suns. Suns will be back in action tomorrow night on TNT, again, national television, tomorrow night at home against the Sacramento Kings. Now, I'm sure by now you've all seen that play that led to that Steph Curry shot right there. Bradley Beal went for a steal on that play, did not come up with that steal, and as a result, left Steph Curry with a wide open shot. Now, no, granted, a deep shot, and not too many guys not named Steph Curry can probably knock that shot down, but a deep shot nonetheless, a wide open deep shot. So our question of the day today is, should Bradley Beal have gone for that steal on Steph Curry Saturday night? Should he have tried to steal that ball, taking himself out of defensive position and allowing Curry a wide open look at the basket? Head on over right now to our Twitter account, at Wildcats1290. You can vote in this poll. Right now, 57%. And again, the question is, should Bradley Beal have gone for the steal? 57% of the people saying yes. Play aggressive. Be aggressive. 43% saying no. Straight up D. Get a hand in Steph's face. Make him bury a contested shot to beat you. I thought it was a bad play by Bradley Beal.
I thought it was a great play by Brandon Pajinski because
Santa Clara Brandon.
Yep. If you watch that play, he actually had to throw that pass an extra 5 feet towards the midcourt line because Bradley Beal overplayed that. So the pass wasn't to Steph Curry. Steph Curry had to go and gather that shot before turning back around and making it. Obviously, Steph can hit from anywhere on the court. As to whether or not Bradley Beal should, I will say this. It was a open shot, and D Book recovered because he was the secondary defender, because obviously you're going to give extra attention to Steph Curry in situations like that. The pass is what led to the shot. With that, if that pass is not made 5 feet towards the midcourt, then Bradley Beal picks it off because Bradley Beal got in the passing lane. Pajinski just made the pass a little bit wider. Steph spun, but if you watch the end of that play when Steph lets it go, D-Book is not too far away. He does get a hand up and does challenge the shot. As you said, that's just Steph doing Steph things.
Yeah.
I don't know that there is a correct way to guard Steph Curry with a second left and up by 2. I don't think there is a correct way to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's open for debate. That's for sure. I don't know if I want a guy like that having a wide open look. I mean, I would feel better about my defense if, you've got the man designed to guard him in a better position to put a hand in his face, and you don't have to depend on your secondary defender.
It would be
named Devin Booker.
Interesting to get in that huddle and to see if Vogel, if the instructions from those guys was to try to affect the pass, right, or if that was a decision made on the fly. Because obviously, I mean, if you don't know how fast the game is, go stand on the baseline sometime during an NBA game, right, DK? I mean, those windows close down so quickly. And I feel like Bradley Beal may not have been instructed to take a risk and take a gamble there. And in that setting, knowing how far, because that was, again, from that was on the sideline out of bounds, passing to the other sideline more or less, give or take. So, I mean, it was a long pass. Yeah, again, I don't know that there is a correct way to do that. I do like that Devin Booker was in the area to affect the shot, but Steph's going to, I expect Steph Curry to make that shot every time.
Every time, like you said, every time. He is that dude. So the Suns will come home.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Steph Curry, congrats to Seth Curry for making the first 3 a Curry made in a Charlotte's Hornet jersey since his dad left. He's wearing number 30. Just suited up for Charlotte the other day for the first time, and it's kind of cool to see a Curry in that jersey again. But yeah, Seth is now back because there's all those videos and pictures, obviously, of the boys, more or less when Del Curry was out there playing himself, and so Steph's brother Seth is out there playing in his dad's jersey number.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that
real cool.
is awesome. Nothing like that right there. All right, so again, head on over to our website, our Twitter account at Wildcats1290. You can vote in that poll right there. Give us your thoughts on what you think happened in that play, how they played it. Should it have been played a little bit differently? I do believe we have this up on our Facebook page as well, although I'm not seeing it. So chances are maybe I did not hit send on that, but I will make sure that you get it up on Facebook as well so you can vote for it over there or comment it on over there if you'd like to get in on that conversation as well. All right, let's I want to go back to the Super Bowl here for a second, the Kansas City Chiefs. And of course, the big story on the other side of the coin was Brock Purdy for the San Francisco 49ers out of Gilbert Perry High School in just his second season. And if there was one thing that annoyed me yesterday, again, and I mentioned this last week, was the constant Mr. Irrelevant, Mr. Irrelevant, Mr. Irrelevant. It doesn't really mean that much anymore because again, when they took 6 rounds out of the draft and made Mr. Irrelevant a 7th round pick, I mean, guys can make the team from the 7th round, especially a decent quarterback can make an NFL team from the 7th round. So the constant chatter that Mr. Irrelevant was in the Super Bowl to me was kind of crazy because that made sense when Mr. Irrelevant was a 12th round pick who probably was going to be cut during the first round of cuts in August.
Yeah.
But again, it's a 7-round draft right now. So I just thought that was kind of dumb that people kept saying Mr. Irrelevant, Mr. Irrelevant. This is a good quarterback who played at a good college, who who was gonna if it was 12 rounds, he would have been drafted. So let's not go crazy. Most of the initial Mr. Irrelevants were guys that were not going to be drafted.
Yeah.
Had they, in any scenario.
I think it just goes back to the general public and now the media fervor of promoting underdogs to give a rooting interest for people who may not have any interest whatsoever in what's going on in the game. Everybody loves to root for an underdog, and I think that label, right? This guy barely even got drafted. And now he's in the Super Bowl. Like, you should be rooting for this guy. You know who else is Mr. Irrelevant, even though he wasn't, because they had 3 rounds, was Steve Kerr. Was the final pick in the 2nd round of the NBA draft.
There you go. Brock Purdy, after the ball game, believes the Niners missed the chance to take the game from the Chiefs.
The first thing that comes to mind is just like when you have an opportunity like we did, to really, put some points up on them and take it. You got to take it, man. It's a Super Bowl. We got a good team in the Chiefs on the other side, and I think we had opportunities to do that, and we all fell short of it. And I think that's what eats at me is I feel like we could have we had our opportunities, man. To, I think sort of lap them and get up on them, and I think we failed to do that. So moving forward with my career, and if you get blessed enough to get in this kind of position again, I think you have to understand that, and I learned the hard way.
It's crazy how the Chiefs just continue to come back from deficits in the playoffs. I mean, they were down 10 at one point in this game, and they just find a way back.
I think that's where the Brady comparisons come because same, right? Like Tom Brady in his first, 3 Super Bowls? I mean, they were down, even the playoffs to get to those Super Bowls. And Patrick Mahomes he's unflappable. Yeah, you just feel like anytime they has an opportunity and there's time left on the clock that he's going to make something happen.
Brock Purdy, 23 of 38, 255 yards, did have 1 touchdown pass in this game, but still feels like he could have had more for his team.
When you have a good offense like the Chiefs do and what Mahomes can do, for us it's like, all right, we have to, score touchdowns. And we had opportunities to do so, I think. Shot ourselves in the foot with, just penalties and the operations and stuff. So I got to be better in terms of, leading the guys and just, I think how I handle things in the huddle and telling them, what to expect, stuff like that. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think we had the team, the offense to score touchdowns, and I think I failed to put our team in position to do that.
And as a young guy in the league, just his 2nd year, and you often hear, obviously, this on the college level as well, in terms of, the young guys playing for the seniors. Brock saying that it hurts that he couldn't give some of those veteran guys a chance to walk out with the crowns on their heads.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it sucks, man. You want to win it for that kind of guy, and he's a great coach. Everybody wants to go to war with that guy. The way he handles himself and carries himself, like we want to win for him. And obviously the older guys, the vets, Trent Williams, Eric Armstead, like all the guys that have been through it, man, you want to win for them. So, but it starts with coach, man. That's who I hurt for, and I hurt for all the other guys. Our whole team, what we've been through the last year hasn't been easy, and for it to go like that, where it's close at the end, and it's tough, and I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it.
All right, Kyle Shanahan, he was talking to, obviously, his head coach there, Trent Williams, one of the best offensive linemen. I would think Trent Williams is going to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. Next stop, Canton, Ohio for him for sure, but just not enough against the Chief Kingdom.
Yeah, the kickers. Special teams is like such an obviously underrated for the championship level teams, but 12 yards, DK. 12 yards of kick or punt returns in that whole game. Neither team had a kickoff return, and only 12 yards from punt returns. So, as far as getting good field position, right? You say what you will about penalties. I think one team had 5, one team had 6. So nothing crazy.
Right.
But yeah, it was really weird because two solid defenses, clearly. That was the story of the game to me, was how the defenses really were dictating, especially late in that game. But the fact that neither team could get any kind of field position, switch just because the kickers were, every kickoff, right, felt like they were kicking a field goal.
And how about the 2 longest field goals in Super Bowl history?
Right.
Jake Moody breaks the record 12 seconds into the second quarter, and then Harrison Butker, with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, says, I'll do you 2 yards better, Jake Moody.
Yeah, those guys are special.
That was a shock to me. I was like, there hasn't been a long field goal in the Super Bowl?
Well, here's how I look at it. I don't know how many close Super Bowls really are have there been in our lifetimes where you have a situation coming down to the final possession where you're going to kick a long field goal, because the only time you kick a 55-plus 60-yard field goal is when it's a tie game or you're down 2 with 5 seconds on the clock, right? Otherwise, that's not really a thing you see very often. Maybe you got a guy with a crazy leg late in the first half, you might see that. But yeah, I was shocked that there hadn't been one longer, but thinking about it after the fact, I bet you there haven't been that many long attempts in Super Bowl history.
Yeah. And when we come back, I want to take the whole thought about the wide receiver thing we started the show with a step further. It's DK on the Sports Tip with JW Madden. I'm David Kelly. Cricket gets you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. With collisions reported Speedway west of Stone Avenue, Grant Road and Dodge Boulevard, Oracle and Ina. Some busy traffic on westbound Miracle Mile approaching Flowing Wells, and traffic busy on Grant Road at I-10. 41 and clear overnight, sunny and 70 tomorrow and 65 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. Right now at Big O Tires, get up to $160 in rebate savings on 4 select in-stock Michelin tires with installation purchase. See store for details. Offer ends February 19th. So hurry into Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Wildcat fans, join head coach Adia Barnes and the Arizona women's basketball team in McHale Center this season. Season tickets are on sale now. You won't want to miss the fierce competition coming to Arizona. Season tickets are available now at ArizonaWildcats.com/WBK. Arizona women's basketball. Let's pack McHale Center.
Frog and Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog and Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 import and domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog and Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
Don't miss out on any pre-game insight.
That's a little bit of what I want to see out of Boswell. Get Keyshawn to set him a back screen or something. Get him on a couple easy layups to kind of get him going a little bit.
Off the glass and good. A pretty shot for Kylan Boswell.
We go on 4 hours before every men's basketball game.
I always tell guys, let the coach take you in and out the game. Don't take yourself out. Stay aggressive. Don't hunt your shots, but if the shots are open, you take them.
DK, Kelvin, and J-Dubs on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Mix a little sports analysis, pop culture, and great interviews, and you've got the Rich Eisen Show podcast.
Brian Windhorst here. Let's revisit the Lakers again.
All I can tell you is the Lakers are coming in under expectations right now. LeBron is 39. LeBron has an option on his contract. The Lakers don't know whether they're going to have their draft pick. I don't know what's going to happen with Bronny James, whether he's in the draft or not. And if he is in the draft, I don't know when he's going to take him. These are all unanswered questions, and that was what makes this kind of a fascinating thing to watch.
No doubt.
The Rich Eisen Show podcast, wherever you listen.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose. Mommy. That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin, ultra soft on the potty. Less is more, so roll it back, everybody. Roll it back. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. Our cream is always soft. It's our party vibe. She's cushion, so our cheeks feel flat. So what? Everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
I don't think people understand how much cool air escapes into their walls and attic.
Or how much extra that costs you every month.
If only there was a way to explain how Alaskan AC keeps that from happening.
It's kind of like that.
Did you seriously just aeroseal Gary's mouth?
Notice how almost no air is getting through?
True.
You're right, Gary. Only Alaskan AC includes AeroSeal with every AC system we sell. It keeps the cool in your home, not in your walls and attic.
He said all that? What'd he say now?
You're probably paying 20 to 50% more than you have to. You'll see savings from your new AeroSeal included systems the very first year.
I had no idea Gary knew so much about AeroSeal.
It's a big part of how we customize heating and air systems so people are comfortable in every room.
I gotta hand it to you, Gary. You know how to make a good point.
A regular pro at this.
Oh, that's right.
Forgot the most important part.
AeroSeal, included with every system at Alaskan AC.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. A couple of things we've been talking about in terms of the Super Bowl, the wide receivers, and the fact that Kansas City really didn't have any in that ball game. But yet they still were able to win. Rich Carrillo checks in on Twitter, says KC's running back, Isaiah Pacheco, is an absolute beast. He has the heart of a giant. Love number 10's approach. Young kids should watch film on how he plays hard, fast, and with a purpose. I'm certain Hall of Fame hero Leroy Kelly would approve of his game. That was a great Super Bowl. That comes from Rich Carrillo.
It's funny Rich Carrillo mentions him because I remember a couple weeks ago when you said, who's this Pachinko guy, right? So it's like you're talking about how like Mahomes doesn't have any named wide receivers to throw to. And you know, it's not as if he has a guy out of Texas in the backfield, right?
Right. Our guy David Amata checking in, former third member of our program here, says, just happy to see the 6 Ring Club stays AFC exclusive for the time being.
Had to be a comment about the Steelers.
But Kyle Shanahan has a lot to answer for. Not giving Run CMC, that would be Christian McCaffrey, the ball in the third quarter. Blew the 28-3 lead as the Atlanta offensive coordinator. We did mention that at the top of the show. Then 2 10-point leads as the 49ers head coach. Bad trend to be guilty of if you are Kyle Shanahan.
You think that's enough touches? 22 carries, 8 receptions.
That's for
Mr. McCaffrey.
30? Yeah.
I mean
that's 30 touches. I mean, I don't think you're giving him 40. He's not. I don't think he's that kind of player.
First and foremost, like this station has always been a Christian McCaffrey supporter. Remember when he was a senior, was it, or a junior? I mean, and he was up for the Heisman. We talked about that quite a lot about how impressive a young man he is. So, but yeah, I mean that was he's their offense, right?
Right. I mean we got 160 yards out of those. I mean, if you want to grind one guy, I get it, but. You know, you got to have other performers step up. And so, and the thing, getting back to the whole, like I said, I want to take this receiver thing a step further. when you look at some of these guys, especially on the Chiefs, McCole Hardman, who won the game, I think maybe I had heard of McCole again. And I follow football, but I don't know that I would say that I follow it close. Like, I don't know every single guy on every single team or anything of that nature.
Sure.
I don't know that I'd heard of McCole Hardman before yesterday. Rashee Rice I'd heard of. Pacheco, obviously, 2 weeks ago, I said I hadn't really heard of him. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, I know him. So some of these guys, Brandon Ayuk, obviously know him, played at ASU, had followed him in college and knew of him. Deebo Samuels, you know him. But it's just not it. When you think of the Super Bowl, you think of these legendary wide receivers. I mean, when you go back and you think of dynamic plays in your memory of the Super Bowl that stand out. To me, like the first, I want to say one of, if not the first, but one of the first dynamic plays in my Super Bowl memory is Lynn Swann going up and catching the ball on the Cowboys and coming down with his knee on whoever that defensive back for the Cowboys chest was.
Right.
You think of that play. I mean, again, Hall of Fame receiver in Lynn Swann. You think of Jerry Rice.
Well, that's what I grew up in
Super Bowl.
I grew up in that era. That's the era I grew up in.
I mean, you think of these legendary names. I mean, granted, McCole Hardman will probably be, he may not ever have to buy another dinner in Kansas City ever again, but in 20 years, are you gonna is McCole Hardman gonna be the guy you remember, the dynamic wide receiver? I mean, I don't know that he's going to. I don't know if next stop for him is Canton, Ohio. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Do you want to hear the schools?
Yes.
So Hardman went to Georgia. Cornell Powell went to Clemson, and Justin Ross went to Clemson, and Kadarius Toney went to Florida. Other than that, we have Middle Tennessee, Western Michigan, Fresno State, SMU, South Florida, and Samford, and Pennsylvania. So there may be, if you're looking for a reason as to why maybe some of the wide receivers on the Chiefs aren't household names, a lot of the schools that they pulled those guys out of aren't exactly household names either.
Don Lipsy checks in, going back to Bradley Beal on Twitter. Bradley Beal has never been a good defender, so it wouldn't have mattered if he didn't go for the steal. Also, Steph's offense is better than almost anyone's defense. That comes from Don Lipsy. Don,
Again, yeah.
Appreciate your opinion there.
Yeah, there's no correct way to defend Steph Curry.
Oh, good stuff. Now, the good thing that came out of this whole Super Bowl for the San Francisco 49ers was that our guy, Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, made a play.
Goal with the 3, shotgun snap, 4-man rush. Mahomes cocks his arm, left tackle block, drifting, breaks a tackle. Here he is on the near side, throwing sidearm end zone, incomplete, broken up by Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, who is taking the place of the injured Trey Greenlaw with a dive on the near sideline with a pass zeroing in on the end zone, incomplete.
That's so great because I wasn't watching the television when that play happened, but hearing his name said in that way during the Super Bowl, I had to do a triple take like back at the television. It was great.
I mean, and yeah, that was on TV, and this was the radio call, obviously, of Kevin Harlan. But I mean, gosh, if you never do anything again, you've got Kevin Harlan in the Super Bowl.
There it is. Yeah.
One of the best announcers ever saying your name like that.
Right.
Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles.
Let's hear it again.
Yes.
Broken up by Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles.
That is awesome.
It's great.
That is just awesome.
Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles.
And you feel so sad for Dre Greenlaw and the fact that he went down. And I mean, it was just, celebrating, coming off the sideline, pops his Achilles. That was terrible. Absolutely terrible. But so happy to see Demetrius get an opportunity in that game and to make that play and to, at least for that moment, hold the Chiefs to a field goal to try to give his team the victory. 4 total tackles for Demetrius in the game and had that pass break up there. Just tremendous for that young man who, again, had to sit out his senior year at Mountain View because he transferred from Tucson High School to Mountain View to play for Bam McRae. AIA made him sit out, couldn't get eligible, and then went on to U of A. And like we had his uncle Harold Coleman on last week, and just was a solid player. Wasn't a guy, and it's interesting. Some of these when I look, I've covered Arizona football for 16 years now, and I've seen some guys on defense that I thought could play at the next level, and I wouldn't say that Demetrius wasn't one of them, but I just thought that I can give you the names like the one guy I always point to was Tremaine Bondurant, who was a kind of a hybrid safety linebacker, somewhat like Demetrius, but not as big as Demetrius. And I thought that he was one of the most dynamic, and I'll still say, outside of Scooby Wright, Tremaine Bondurant might have been the second, if I had to make a list of 5, is probably number 2 on my list of defensive playmakers in the last 16 years at the University of Arizona. And that guy never got a sniff at the National Football League. He was all over the place in college. I mean, made multiple plays every game. I remember the first time he stepped on the field, my first year in TV in 2011, I said, man, that every week, because, I talk about it all the time, I would go back and I break down the tape, and every week I had 6, 7 cuts from Tremaine Bondurant because he made plays every week. Never got a sniff in the National Football League. Never even got a tryout, let alone a free agent contract. And then there were guys but again, sometimes in the NFL, it's all about projectables. It's projectables. Like Dane Cruikshank. He was just a guy that, again, another solid safety, didn't necessarily stand out, but had the projectables that the National Football League is looking for in terms of guys that they want on the back end. Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, solid player, smart player, didn't make a lot of mistakes, but necessarily didn't make a lot of plays that stood out to you, but had the projectables, had the size that they're looking for at that position. And so much so that they moved him, like Uncle Harold was saying, moved him from safety down to linebacker because he had the projectable size. So it's interesting just to kind of to watch kids play at this level and try to figure out if they project to that next level.
And, come on, we're talking about Arizona, and what's Arizona known for is making 3-stars into all-pack players, right? Guys who are too short, who don't have enough weight on them in high school, DK, to be looked at by some of the marquee college programs in the country. So as far as measurables go, when you do get a guy who stands out, now that could all change. We don't know what the future holds. I just know that in most of my life, you go back to the Desert Swarm days, a lot of those guys maybe didn't have the measurables, but guess what? You can't measure Teddy Bruschi's heart, right? So there are certain guys who transcend that, but it's so analytical nowadays in all professional sports. And so, you're talking about not getting a sniff, not getting a chance to put anything on film, right? How much of that is just due to, your 100 splits? How much of that is just due to, your measurables?
Yeah.
A lot of that today's day and age, because there's even more people out there, more players out there waiting in line for those spots than there ever has been before.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you want to get in on the program, you can call us that number. You can text us that number. Did you go to the Waste Management in Phoenix this weekend? It was an absolute zoo. Again, I like the concept of the stadium par 3, and I said it last weekend. I think every PGA golf tournament should do that, should have a stadium par 3. But, folks, come on now. Can we at least act like adults? at these events. I mean, I saw some guy do a cartwheel into the bunker.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing?
I said last week, I mean, when Tiger had that famous hole-in-one, it was, I don't remember the exact year that Happy Gilmore came out, but there wasn't a big difference in time frames. And that, to me, if you remember that movie, you know, he's the outsider, not a golfer. He doesn't know anything about the decorum. He doesn't know about staying quiet while somebody's putting or all those things. And so the crowd that follows him goes crazy and starts making a lot of noise and getting amped up and doing keg stands and that kind of stuff. And I feel like the Phoenix, that tournament up there in Scottsdale is definitely the epitome of that attitude. It's the non-golf golf fans.
Right. Yeah.
And that's, you know, they've promoted it that way. And now, you know, it's the inmates leading the asylum type of thing, right?
Can't. What's the phrase? You can't put the what's the thing you can't put back in the bottle? You can't put the what's that phrase?
Can't put
the genie back in the bottle or
Sure.
something like that. What was Jeannie's name? What was her name?
There's so many genies.
Oh, no.
I like Shaq. He was a good genie.
No. I'm talking about
Dream.
Barbara Eden.
Dream of Genie.
Barbara Eden. I dream of Genie. You can't put Genie back in the bottle. I had to take a picture. If you're watching on the video and you just saw me take a picture, I have ESPN on in here, and they just put a promo up for tonight's game involving Arizona women's basketball because the ladies are on national TV tonight, 7 o'clock. You'll hear that game, not here. You'll hear that game on Freedom 1400 tonight due to the Tommy Lloyd radio show, which comes up in 1 hour here. You'll hear Tommy from 6:05 to 7, as you will every Monday night with Brian Jeffries up at the Union Public House. So get on over and check that out if you'd like. And so the women's basketball game tonight will be back on their former home, Freedom 1400, with coverage beginning at 6:45 with Derek Palmer from the Galen Center in Los Angeles.
Who got Juju?
Who got Juju? I think Helena Puello has probably got Juju. She's the best defender on the team, so I would imagine you gotta. I mean, they're gonna throw a bunch of different things at her. I gotta find the cut. I'll see if at the top of the hour I can find the cut of Adia talking about that. But yeah, they're gonna have to throw a lot of different stuff at Juju Watkins. Who, interestingly enough, because this is all the other teams played yesterday. This is the only game tonight, but they still handed out the awards today.
Yeah,
and Juju won again.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at her last 3 games. She had 31. Versus ASU, 29 versus Cal, and 51 versus number 4 Stanford.
Yeah.
That's her last 3 games. Second in the nation in scoring for the freshman.
Yep. And what did we say last week? She scored 76% of their points in that game. She scored 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 assists. Well, she had 2 assists in that game, 51 points and 11 boards.
Right.
Versus the number 4 team in a win at Stanford, 67-58.
All right, we will attempt to find that Juju Watson, Adia talking about Juju, and have that for you in the 5 o'clock hour. It's DK on the Sports Tip with JW Madden and Cricket. We'll talk about commercials in the Super Bowl. I want to hear J-Dub and Cricket's favorite commercials. We'll do that as well in the 5 o'clock hour. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center. With collisions, 1st Avenue north of River Road, 1st Avenue, and just south of Rudisill. Also clearing Speedway west of Stone, Grant Road and Dodge Boulevard. And also collision clearing at Oracle and Ina. Slowdowns westbound Miracle Mile approaching Flowing Wells. Clear and 41 overnight, sunny, 70 tomorrow, and 65 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. Right now at Big O Tires, get up to $160 in rebate savings on 4 select in-stock Michelin tires with installation purchase. See store for details. Offer ends February 19th. So hurry in to Big O Tires, the team you trust.
A Car Shield, and you should too. Call Car Shield now at 800-899-60.
I mean, imagine 2 weeks of build-up where everybody's saying the exact same thing about the Super Bowl. Well, if that's the case, then you know the exact opposite is going to happen. Except this time, everybody was right. This time, you needed just one word to nail your Super Bowl prediction, and that one word, of course, is Mahomes. I must have said it 30 times last week. I simply cannot bet against Patrick Mahomes in this game. That overtime is why. That final drive in regulation is why. Mahomes is just that dude, and that dude is just that inevitable. Those 2 drives were inevitable. 3 straight games as an underdog. If it feels like you were watching a movie that you had seen so many times before, it's because you were watching a movie that you had seen so many times before. Say, for the ones who get it done, Grainger is offering high-quality supplies and solutions for every single industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and the experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facility safe and your people even safer. So, call, click, Grainger.com, or just stop on by. Grainger.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
We get you so close to McHale, it sounds like the Arizona Pep Band is riding in your back seat.
What the hell is going on?
This is the home of Arizona men's basketball. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Welcome to Love Those Savings, brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Let's meet our contestants. Contestant number 1 is Equinox. Contestant 2 is Silverado. And our newest contestant number 3, he's T-Railblazer.
They're all so good looking and affordable. I can't believe I can only take one of them home.
Check us out at O'Reilly.com. Call us at 747-8000 or love those savings in person on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads at O'Reilly Chevrolet.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Remember to tune in to Wildcats Radio 1290 for the biggest pregame show in the Pac-12.
Because that's how we roll.
We go on the air 4 hours before every football and men's basketball game all season long. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona Complete Health means more than health insurance to me. They're my healthcare partner. We get the care we need from doctors we choose, and even earn rewards for healthy things we're already doing. And with Marketplace, Medicaid, and Medicare options, I have coverage to protect my family's health wherever life takes us.
Arizona Complete Health, a plan for life. Visit planforlifeaz.com to find coverage that works for you.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what?
Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Final hour of the program. We want to hear from you today, 520-848-1290, Super Bowl thoughts. If you're a 49ers fan, are you incredibly upset about this? I have not checked in with our old friend Rich Herrera to find out if he's okay today. I probably should. He's a 49ers fan. Chief, if you're a Chiefs fan, how happy does this make you? 3 titles in 5 years. Extremely happy, I would imagine. Steph Curry beats the Phoenix Suns on Saturday night with a jumper at the buzzer. And it was a play that I did not think Bradley Beal played very well there. But what did you think on that? Wild rumors over the weekend. Brent Brennan has interviewed for the job at UCLA. He's going to get a second interview. I mean, people analyzing folks' pictures on vacations to find out where they are. And I mean, we have just fallen into a level of degenerativeness that is just hilarious to me at some times. Like, we're trying to look at people. I mean, there were people posting, like, what was on a certain former Arizona Wildcat football coach's phone and his wife's phone to try to analyze where they were this weekend. It's totally, I don't get it.
I do.
I don't get that either.
I'll explain it. You ready? So first to post has been the thing in the social media world. Right. So, like, it's not a matter of correct information. It's a matter of who's at the first information. And in the last 10 years, degeneracy is correct because there's a lot of people who are a lot like us who don't want to really work, don't want to dig dishes for a living, right? And there are avenues to make money off of breaking rumors. And I think that the amped up nature of all this, we've seen more recently, DK, has to do a lot with that. It just has to do with you got to be the first to break the information in order to get traction. And a lot of people out there are trying to not go punch clocks. They're trying to get enough traction with their various social media, accounts that they can be sponsored and be, or get hired by somebody type of thing. And so there's a lot of amateur sports reporters and media out there in the world. And because we live in it's not a 24-hour news cycle anymore. It's a 24-second news cycle. You got to get it out there first. So that's what leads to all these endless rumors and speculation cycles. And when the UCLA job opens up, what was it, 3 weeks after Coach Brennan was hired?
Yeah.
Of course, that's going to happen.
Craziness. I mean, just craziness. Some of the things that that I was seeing and reading over the weekend. Dave Wilson checks in on Facebook. He says, what if the 49er kicker makes the extra point? Jake Moody made 2 field goals, but missed an extra point. Or the punt.
Yeah, kicked that low, right?
Yeah.
Kicked it low.
Or the punt doesn't go off of a leg. That was our boy Jordan's brother that muffed that punt. And Purdy wins. Then what would people have to say about Brock? I mean, the 49ers could have easily won this game. I don't know. I get just by that message that Dave maybe intimates that people are talking bad about Brock Purdy today. I don't think they are. I don't think there's a lot of people out there that are talking bad about Brock Purdy. I think his performance speaks for itself. And I thought he played well. Now, is he going to be a dynamic quarterback in the National Football League? I think it's too early to tell that. But anytime that you can get to this game, and it's not easy to get to this game, but he's been on the verge of this game now 2 years in a row. So I think that's a pretty good sample size. If he doesn't get hurt, that might have been his second Super Bowl.
So he had no turnovers, right?
No.
And he had a 60% completion percentage, 1 touchdown, but, it was all field goals there, especially in the second half. So I don't know that I've heard, I'm like you, I don't know that I've heard a lot of 49ers fans are just garbage noise about, hey, get somebody else in there. Purdy's not doing it. I haven't heard that.
No.
What I heard him after the game was instantly say, I got to do better. He is clearly a leader. I mean, we just played 4 cuts from him, and clearly everything that comes out of his mouth is, being personally responsible for what took place because as the leader of the offense. But I don't hear any fans or any talking heads blaming Brock Purdy for that loss.
All right. Before we get to our analyzation of the commercials in the Super Bowl, I want everyone to hear we've got Arizona women's basketball tonight. The Wildcats are going to take on the Southern California Trojans out of Galen Center. Here is what Adia Barnes had to say about Juju Watkins when I asked her about it at the press conference last week.
Gosh, so many things. So she's a tall wing, so she's about 6 foot, but she's like super skilled. So she's a hard matchup because if you're taller, she's gonna go by you. She creates space really well. She shoots it well. Goes right a lot better than left, but still can score at every level. And then if you put, she's really dangerous right now. A lot on film of operating in the elbow. She's really good at that. Really good in transition, and I think that can create her shot at any time. So I think that's hard too, because if you look at other teams, there's like a certain action, like there's a chin off, and there's going to get like 3 or 4 reversals. Now with a star dominant player like her, it's like she can score at any time, and she's going to touch the ball. So it might be one pass, and she's going to create. I think that's hard sometimes. So she demands a lot of attention. But you gotta do what you gotta do. And we're not gonna go into the game like, oh, we're gonna shut her down, because we're actually not gonna shut her down. But we want to slow her down, and we don't want to let her get cooking. And we don't want to give her 1 points and 19 or I think 17, 19 from the free throw line. So you have to not foul her, and she's just tough. So I think putting bodies at her, like making her uncomfortable, like making her get rid of the ball, make other people play, is gonna be important.
All right, that is the head coach of your Arizona women's basketball team, Adia Barnes, talking about Juju Watkins, who the Wildcats will face tonight. And I mentioned that they've already, even though there's still 1 game left to be played on the women's side, this game tonight, they have already handed out the awards for this week. And Juju Watkins is your Pac-12 Freshman of the Week yet again. And this week, she recorded her 8th 30-point game. That was 31 points against Arizona State on Friday night. She went 8 of 9 from the field. 8 of 9 from the line. 11 of 25 from the field. Had 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and a pair of steals in that win over the Arizona State Sun Devils. So Juju Watkins continuing to do fabulous things on the women's side. She is your Pac-12 Freshman of the Week. Regan Beers from Oregon State was your Pac-12 Player of the Week. She had 17 points in a win.
How many Player of the Weeks does she have this year?
Well, she's only got 2 Player of the Weeks, last week and back in December.
She had to have gotten last week. I think she averaged 43 points a game last week. Yeah.
But Freshman of the Week, she has won all but 2 of those. And I think we're on week 14. So she's won it 12 times. Freshman of the Week. Hands down. Freshman of the Year. And maybe Player of the Year.
Got to be. I mean, clearly, yeah. I mean, yeah, has to be. Has to be Player of the Year to me. I mean, because, again, I think.
What are you basing that on, though? Because
again, standings.
They're not. They're not. They probably aren't going to win it. I mean, Stanford is still the best team. So
of course,
you don't go with Cameron Brink.
Well, no, of course, that's what I meant. Like it's always the best player, best team applies to both men and women. And that being said, they just got a giant. I mean, what did Kelvin say? 0-2.
Yeah.
Right. That KJ versus Caleb talk. I mean, they just went into Palo Alto and beat them by 9. Right. So there's something to be said about that as well.
All right, we are joined by Cricket. Okay, so commercials in the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
I'm going to start with the one I thought was absolutely stupid, and that was the NFL Sunday ticket with the players flying around as birds.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that
That
one.
was just dumb. I don't even know what the purpose of that was. It was just what was the ice skater? Nancy Kerrigan would say it was corny.
Yeah.
Remember when she said that? Which she had to go to Disneyland. Patrick Mahomes was at Disneyland today, but when Nancy Kerrigan had to go, it was corny. Did you have a favorite? I loved Carl Weathers because he just died.
Yeah.
That one was, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome that he was in that commercial. LL Cool J in the Coors Light, driving the Coors Light train.
With
that
Lenny
was
Wilson.
that was pretty good. Ben and Jen.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
Ben and Jen with Tom Brady. We didn't know who any of those other people were though. Any idea who those other people were? No. What was another good one? The Wicked. I did not know they were remaking Wicked.
Right.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
Are you theater?
No,
You're not
not
theater.
much,
lady.
no.
No. Did you have a favorite? Did you?
I did like the Dunkin' commercial. I thought that was okay. That
Okay.
was cute. I liked the Uber Eats with like Jennifer Aniston
Yes.
and
That was the other one.
Yeah,
that was the
Jelly
one I was
Rolls.
missing.
Yeah.
We worked together for 10 years.
I don't remember.
Did I ever tell you that my sister Sydney was her babysitter in Long Island?
I think you may have mentioned
Back in the day,
that.
yeah.
Your sister Sydney babysitted Jennifer Aniston.
Correct.
So you know her because her dad was a famous actor,
Right.
in the soaps.
My favorite was this one.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I just think because of the play on words and because of how famous he is for Get to the Chopper and that
Arnold.
stuff. I mean, I just think because neighbor with the hard R is like their whole thing. The fact that they could work that in, that Arnold can't do that. I mean, that has to with the A's at the end. I thought it was really funny.
There you go. So
And Danny DeVito. Anytime Danny DeVito's involved,
Danny DeVito.
I'm all about it.
Okay, halftime. Yeah, yay, nay, thumbs up, thumb down. My wife didn't like it. My mother didn't like it. My cousin Morgan didn't like it.
Well, like I was saying, Cricket.
I liked the roller skates. I thought that was, and
I thought of you right away when I saw that. 'Cause you talked about roller skating. I was like, I bet DK is loving this.
What I said was that, like, I'm not an Usher. I was a, like,
Usher.
Jungle, like De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest. Like, that was when we were in high school. And so, like, Usher was 10 or 12 years later. And I know his music, but I didn't, like, stand up and start going crazy when I saw some of those songs come on, because of that.
I was very underwhelmed by that performance. The last song he did should have been his first song, and Ludacris came out and saved that show. I was like, "There's Ludacris!"
Yeah,
I was so excited to see him.
Ludacris, indeed. See,
Yeah.
that's what I was telling J-Dub earlier. It's kind of cool when you get other stars out there. It's not just one person, but I think a lot of the R&B artists are always going to be held to Prince's performance, which is probably not fair, but it is what it is, and most people think that was one of the best performances ever. So
Agreed.
All right, getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather is Cricket.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together with a collision at 5th and Rosemont and 5th Street. Also, Overton Road closed at the CDO Wash for one more week. You could use Lambert Lane or McGee instead. 41 and clear overnight, sunny, 70 tomorrow, and 64 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. Welcome to the ultimate playground for online social casino enthusiasts. Get ready to live the Chumba life and play over 100 online casino-style games for free at ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
In 1924, Studebaker turned down Frank O'Reilly. So he went with Chevy. And the rest is history. 100 years of history. And we're celebrating it on March 23rd. And you're invited.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Not all sports stations are built the same way. 1290 has Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball, plus the NFL and the Super Bowl. Tucson trusts 1290. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our beautiful Arizona winter weather brings cooler overnight temperatures, which means some of you are now seeing your vehicle's low pressure warning light. Colder overnight temperatures can lower your tire's pressure just enough to trigger a warning light. But don't worry, many times the solution is simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. Then get back to enjoying the fantastic winter weather. If adding the air doesn't do the trick, stop by any of our 14-area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with the low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Mention this radio offer for free installation with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor. We'll install it in your wheel and rebalance your tires absolutely free. You'll find even more specials to get your car road trip ready at jackfurriers.com. So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just drop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
At Blue Moon, we craft our beer with Valencia orange peel and coriander for a brighter flavor that's one of a kind every time. So we decided to craft a one-of-a-kind radio ad using just those ingredients. Orange peel, coriander, 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 orange peel, orange peel, orange peel, orange peel, orange peel. Okay, you know what? Maybe we should just stick to crafting one-of-a-kind beers. Blue Moon, one of a kind, every time. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Co., Golden, Colorado.
Want to support a nonprofit that helps youth and adults in the most challenging moments of their lives and save hundreds of dollars on your Arizona taxes? Donate to Intermountain today and receive a dollar-for-dollar tax credit and support their work for their more than 20,000 at-risk individuals each year. To make your gift and for more information, visit intermountaincenters.org. Intermountain, serving Arizona's health need for 50 years.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's February at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And to spark business, we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we'll include a Wi-Fi thermostat, 10-year parts and labor warranty, plus we have zero interest financing available.
Call or text 520-200-2422 or visit rightwayac.com.
Well, it's the first part of a new year, and some people are coming up with some pretty interesting New Year's resolutions.
I'm taking karate classes.
Hey, wait just a minute.
Let's get something really stupid tattooed on our butt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why not make your New Year's resolution to always save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn? You'll not only save up to 40%, but there's also no city or state sales tax at Tobacco Barn because they're on the reservation.
I'm getting married to the first girl I meet. Hey there, sweetheart.
And you can save up to another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Let's try parachuting. Geronimo!
So save up to 40%, save with no city or state sales tax, and save up to another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. But maybe skip the skydiving. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is everywhere. Wildcats fans can listen to us everywhere on our all-new app. Now available from the Google Play Store and the App Store for iPhone users. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 85% water, right?
85% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients. Don't pay for water, pay for clean.
Save $10 when you spend $30 on Tide and Downy. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent. Must buy at least one participating Tide or Dreft detergent item, plus at least one participating Downy and or Bounce scent booster, liquid fabric softener, or dryer sheets. Prepaid card by mail. Visit pglaundryrebate.com for terms and conditions.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
Sick and tired of achy joints? Dread the idea of surgery? You need to call QC Kinetics today. Hey, it's David Kelly. Listen, the state of healthcare is always changing. The old ideas like steroids and surgery are no longer your only options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. Knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain. From arthritis or injury, don't let this pain keep you from living your best life. QC Kinetics' advanced state-of-the-art treatments harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief and with absolutely no downtime. Make 2024 the year you reclaim your mobility, reclaim your independence, walk and run and play and live without the danger of trauma and surgery, and without any harmful drugs. Call QC Kinetics now. Get that free consultation. There's 2 locations here in Southern Arizona. One is off of Academy. The other is off of Orange Grove. QC Kinetics, the number, here it is, 520-497-4955, 520-497-4955. Find that road to a pain-free life. Call QC Kinetics now at 520-497-4955.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on our program. 520-848-1290. We will take you up till right up to 6 o'clock. Tommy Lloyd Radio Show is at 6:05 coming up tonight from the Union Public House. So you can head on up there and get a chance to hear Jed talk about the fabulous weekend in the Rocky Mountains in which the Wildcats knocked down the Utah Utes and the Colorado Buffaloes, ending a pair of long home losing streaks and solidifying themselves in first place. I want to reiterate to you our question of the day before we give you an update on what happened with Arizona softball this weekend. And our question of the day right now is in terms of what happened with the Suns on Saturday night. They lost to the Golden State Warriors on a last-second shot by one Steph Curry on a ball in which Bradley Beal tried to go for a steal, leaving Steph with an open look, a long look, but a long open look at the basket in which Steph Curry drained the shot, the three-pointer, to win the game. And should Bradley Beal have gone for that steal? That is our question of the day. Should Bradley Beal have gone for that steal? Right now, 63% of you saying yes, play aggressive defense. Nothing wrong with that. 38% of you, or 32% of you, or I'm sorry, 63 and 37. I can't do math right now. 37% of you saying no. Play straight up D, get a hand in his face, contest the best shooter that pro basketball has probably ever seen. Our guy David Amata checks in on that thought as well. Used to be a part of this show here. He says, you know the man can hit the shot from the logo, right? Force him to shoot through or over you to force a higher arching shot. It makes Steph have to nail the shot rather than play off his line of sight to the rim, and it should force a high rebound, which takes more time off the clock. Is Dave on point there, you think, J-Dub?
Well, like I said, I think the pass is what made the shot.
Yeah.
I think, Brzezinski put that only where Steph could get it. And then Steph did a bit of a pirouette, Like, how many players, let me ask you this. How many players make that shot? And it's not because people can't shoot from out there. They're all NBA players. I mean, without anybody defending them, I bet you every single NBA player, including Boban, could make that shot. But as far as in real game action, late game action, where the intensity is at that level, catching the ball with your back to the basket you're shooting at, and then pirouetting and letting it go with all under the, at half a second's worth of time and being accurate on that shot from 27, 28 feet away, I just think that's a unique skill set that Steph Curry possesses that we haven't seen players be able to do that. So, again, I think that there's a lot of different ways to look at that after the fact especially, but Steph Curry is undefendable. I think what you want to, any coach or Kelvin would say, you can't let him catch. You have to make sure that Steph Curry does not catch the ball and have an opportunity to do anything with it there. Let somebody put face guard with 2 defenders on him, right? Let somebody else beat you.
I want to. I'm going to make a little bit of a reverse here, J Dub, and I want to get it to because we have a comment on the Travis Kelce situation that happened during the game involving Coach Andy Reid. My guy Mike Archer checks in and says Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's relationship is not going to end well. When Travis Kelce publicly yelled at his coach, Taylor Swift was shocked. Miss Swift is a gentle soul with excellent writing abilities and observational skills, as all writers have. She did not like what she saw. Well, I mean, she was kissing him after the game, so I don't know about that part, Mike. But when I saw that, and again, this is not the first time lately that Travis has melted down during a game. He melted down a few weeks ago and threw his helmet, and he melted down there. And the first thing that kind of came to my mind is Travis Kelce becoming entitled? Because I don't think a lot of guys can get away with that. Yelling at your coach. I mean, and granted, it's football. We've seen it. He's not the first star to get a little sideways in a game in the heat of the battle with his coach. But when I saw that, I was just like, man, I like, don't get me wrong, this is my homeboy here. My homeboy, he's from Cleveland Heights. I spent time growing up in Cleveland Heights. So that's my homeboy. I just don't want to see him get entitled. And that's what that came off to me as Travis Kelce being entitled when he did that.
I'm just curious how, body language deciphering has always been great from amateur armchair quarterbacks, but deciphering the body language of a player as it relates to their marital and dating status after the game is a new one. I've never heard that before.
Well, let's hear what Travis had to say after the game about that little dust-up there with his head coach.
Jim, we saw the frustration from Travis Kelce on Christmas Day throwing the helmet. That's exactly what he did when he came off the sidelines, throwing it down again in frustration. Isaiah Pacheco also frustrated, went up and down the bench, apologizing to everyone. Spent a lot of time with offensive coordinator Matt Nagy. He cannot afford to have Pacheco lose confidence in himself. Andy Reid saying to him, hold it high and tight all day.
When you and Andy Reid had that, what I call a very engaging conversation.
Oh, you guys saw that?
What was the conversation about?
There were a few cameras.
I mean, was it, hey, I need the ball, I can help us win? What was that about?
Man, it was, I'm gonna keep it between us unless my mic'd up tells the world, but I was just telling him how much I love him.
Travis Kelce. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just let's not lose our minds out there, Travis. Let's not become that dude, because that would be, I think that would be a bad look for you. I think there's a lot of people that like Travis Kelce right now, and we don't want him to become some of these other big time stars that we've seen that just become so full of themselves.
What was
that they become unlikable?
What was the helmet throwing incident? Do you remember the play?
It was. Oh, I don't know if it was the first round of the playoffs or if it was the last. It was at the end of the season. I can't remember if it was a regular season game or if it was maybe it was because they played they were in the wild card, right?
Yeah.
It might have been the wild card game where that happened. Something happened, and he came off and threw his helmet, and I guess Reed had to get in his face that day as well and kind of tell him to knock it off. But yeah, just Don't be that guy, Travis. Don't be that entitled a-hole athlete that people are going to want to start hating, because I think you got a good thing going right now.
I think there's a large portion of America that hates Travis Kelce for the worst possible reasons right now.
Yeah.
So that's that group, that side of the anti-Travis Kelce has been growing now for about 6 months.
Yeah. All right, real quick here. Arizona softball won all 5 of their games at the Candrea Classic. They won all 5 of their games by run rule. at the Candrea Classic. 9-1, 8-zip, 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 8-zip. Run rule is 8+ runs after 5 for those maybe that are not aware. And they gave up 1 run all weekend. And pitching was an issue last year.
Yeah.
And they've got pitching problems right now because they've got 3 pitchers who you thought were going to maybe be engaged who are out. 1's out for the season. 2 we expect will come back. Their top 2 with experience, Devin Netz, who's been to the World Series, and Sidney Summerdike, who was on the scene last year, are both out right now. But what a weekend by Aisa Silva, who pitched a lot last year. 12 strikeouts in 8 2/3 innings. Brooke Mannon helped combine on a perfect game with Allie Blanchard this weekend. 1 run. And our girl at second base, Allie Skaggs, did not hit the ball well. She was just 2 for 13, but she did not commit an error this weekend. And you might remember she did not commit an error last year. I asked her, is there any pressure to keep that errorless streak going?
Not extremely. Obviously, I would like to. I mean, it'd be great to go through with another 0-error season. But honestly, that's the game of softball. That's what happens on defense. Like, if to go through a season with 0 is kind of on one end just incredible. Like, it just doesn't happen. And so you can't stress about it because the more that I think about it and try not to make errors, the more that it's going to happen and the more tight I'm going to be. So I just want to go play the game again, and then whatever happens, happens.
Liz, what did you make of Allie going through an entire season without committing an error?
Oh my gosh, I'm not surprised. I am a huge fan of Allie Skaggs. I think playing defense with her is amazing, and of course I'm not surprised because she is an amazing athlete, and I'm just so proud of her, and just playing next to her is like a great opportunity, and I just love playing next to her.
Has she allowed you to touch the gold glove trophy?
Not yet, actually. I think I'm gonna have to go over to her house and touch the glove because I really want to.
Well, I don't really bring it around. I don't like to show it off. I feel like I don't want to do that to them.
Allie Skaggs, she had, it looks like 6 putouts and 3 assists, so 9 chances on over the weekend, and was clean on all 9. Not a single error. That's pretty impressive too. That Arizona softball played 5 games and did not commit a single error in those 5 games. They only allowed 9 hits in 26 innings and did not commit a single error. Only walked 4 batters in 26 innings and had 24 strikeouts. So for the moment, now again, they did not play a Power 5 team this weekend in this tournament. And there are some Power 5 teams coming up. They played Utah Tech, Lipscomb, North Texas, and Northern Colorado. So the jury is still out, but it's a good start to the season.
Always been about pitching and fielding, right?
Oh, yeah.
College softball.
Gotta throw it, gotta catch it. Those are the 2 things. All right, coming up, we will hear from it's baseball season as well for Arizona. The Arizona baseball team starts their campaign this week. We will hear from Chip Hale when we come back, and also give you our Desert Diamond Casino replay coming up before the top of the hour and the Tommy Lloyd Radio Show. It's DK on the Sports Tip. I'm David Kelly. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with their traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Rosemont and 5th Street in Rosemont with a reported collision. Some slowdowns on westbound Speedway as you approach I-10. Ajo and Mission busy mostly for westbound traffic on Ajo Way at Mission. Clear 41 overnight, sunny and 70 tomorrow, 63 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate. Why make things harder than they need to be? There's a better way to save time and money. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
We're celebrating 99 years, 8 seconds at a time. The 99th La Fiesta de los Vaqueros Tucson Rodeo returns February 17th to 25th with action-packed fun for the whole family. Plus delicious food, beer garden, shopping, kids activities, and the Coors Barn Dance. La Fiesta de los Vaqueros Tucson Rodeo, February 17th through 25th at the Tucson Rodeo Grounds. Get your tickets today at 520-741-2233 or TucsonRodeo.com.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is cooler here, and so pests are seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? University Termite and Pest Control has been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control for the past 50 years. You can too. University Termite and Pest Control. Find us online at bepestfree.com.
Did you hear what Coach said this week on the Adia Barnes radio show?
Her freshman year, she had gained that freshman 15. She wasn't going to play 45 minutes then. You guys don't remember? In Spain, they eat small portions. They eat 5 fries and a small hamburger. In America, we eat 75 fries and a double burger. She wasn't used to that. She was loving America. She gained like 15, 17 pounds her freshman year. She was thick.
The Adia Barnes radio show, Tuesdays at 5:30. You miss a week? You miss a lot. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
When you wake up well-rested on a great mattress, everything becomes clear.
I do overthink everything.
Things you missed when you were tired finally reveal themselves.
I should just get fake plants.
It's the President's Day sale at Mattress Firm. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. See a lower price? We'll match it. The right mattress matters. We'll find yours. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
I don't think people understand how much cool air escapes into their walls and attic.
Or how much extra that costs you every month.
If only there was a way to explain how Alaskan AC keeps that from happening. It's kind of like that.
Did you seriously just aeroseal Gary's mouth?
Notice how almost no air is getting through?
True.
You're right, Gary. Only Alaskan AC includes AeroSeal with every AC system we sell. It keeps the cool in your home, not in your walls and attic.
He said all that? What do you say now?
You're probably paying 20 to 50% more than you have to. You'll see savings from your new AeroSeal included systems the very first year.
I had no idea Gary knew so much about AeroSeal.
It's a big part of how we customize heating and air systems so people are comfortable in every room.
I gotta hand it to you, Gary. You know how to make a good point.
A regular pro at this.
Oh, that's right.
Forgot the most important part.
AeroSeal, included with every system at Alaskan AC.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Tucson area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Why does 1290 run this town?
It's simple. 1290 is the only radio station that can bring you Thursday, Sunday, Monday Night Football, the NFL playoffs, and the Super Bowl. Scoreboard 1290.
This is the home of the Wildcats.
This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290. It's the 5 o'clock hour, and it's time for your Arizona Insiders.
Oh, sweet.
Each weekday, Wildcats Radio 1290 brings you all the latest news and opinions on U of A athletics. So bear down, Tucson, and let's talk Wildcats. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Coors Light, official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. There's nothing like game day in Arizona.
Arizona baseball starts their season this weekend. The Wildcats are going to host a 3-game series against Northeastern. They are the number 23 team in the country, so ranked competition right out of the gate for the Wildcats. And Chip Hale, Friday night at 6 at High Corbett Field, Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon. And the Wildcats, not very highly thought of at this moment. The Pac-12 preseason poll brings them in as number 9. Just 9 for the Arizona Wildcats on the baseball side. Chip Hale last week talked about the club he's got this year and the fact that not many people think that there's going to be a whole lot to be successful about it.
We feel like we know what's going to happen, but, I always talk about till those lights come on in college baseball. It's like when we sent guys from AAA to the big leagues, and then we thought, oh, this guy's going to be great, and you put the third deck on a stadium, things changed. When those lights go on against Northeastern on Friday night and you cross that white line, we'll see how it goes. But, yeah, we feel like with Summerhill, Breifogel, Rogers, Andrew Kane, there's guys, young kids are going to get a chance early. There's some JC kids that are going to get chances. Morales has looked very good. We think they all can be very successful. Usually when you get into, 2-3 weeks into the season, you're not going to have 12, 13 guys playing. It'll probably whittle down to those 10, 8, 9, 10 with the 2 catchers, McDonald and Guzman, getting the bulk of the catching time.
Eating up innings for your staff. When you assess last year, do you think your pitchers need to do a better job of managing the game or getting crucial outs?
I think they need to do everything better. That's why we made the change at pitching coach. Kevin Vance has done a wonderful job so far. Like we said, we'll see when the season starts, but we have very encouraged by the guys that we had last year. We feel like they're much better, and the things that you just ask the questions on, I think they're doing it all better. Whether it's getting crucial outs, whether it's going the ability to go deeper in a game. But I don't know if that's even going to be as important with the depth we have. I think one thing, obviously you can look at it as a negative when you look at what the coaches ranked us in our league and where we've been sort of shown to be by D1 and all these different publications. But all they can do is go on what happened last year. And they see we lost most of our position players. And we are veteran in our pitchers, but their numbers weren't very good. So obviously that's how come I think we've been ranked so low. We feel like those guys improved a lot. We think we've added some really good pitchers. So it should be really fun.
Would you mind going through the lineup position by position and just giving, if it's more than one guy, who are the couple guys at each spot?
Yeah, I could do it this way. I could say catching-wise, Adonis Guzman, Blake McDonald to transfer from Blake's from St. Mary's College. Adonis came from Boston College, where Kevin Vance was, so we knew him pretty well. And then Tommy Splain, who caught a lot of the season last year, he'll be in the mix also to catch. Those three are probably the main guys we're going to lean on early on. First base would be Tommy Splain. If those the two other kids do fine, he'll probably get the bulk of the time at first base. Garen Caulfield will play second as our veteran, and then Mason will play short. And then third base is been a battle. Morales has done Richie Morales is a JC transfer from State College of Florida. He's done a really good job. He's a veteran hitter that knows how to get on base. He can really run. He got a great arm. Andrew Kane, the freshman from Ironwood Ridge, has done a great job. Xavier Esker was sort of our, jack of all trades in the fall. He did well at short, he did well at third, he did well at second, he played first. He'll find a way to get in there. He's just a gamer. So that's another guy at third base. In the outfield, you're talking about Brendan Summerhill. And all these guys are interchangeable. And as you know, at High Corbett, it's very difficult to play left field. So, that's one thing that's concerned us a little bit. We were so lucky with Chase for 2 years with the arm and the speed to be able to cover left field, where Brendan has the speed and he has a good arm. He seems to be settling in there in left, and then T.J. Adams, Brandon Rogers, Easton Breifogel, who's a freshman from Minneapolis. Those three have really done well in center, and then Emilio Corona will play right field. So I gave you a lot of names there. Yeah, I didn't. And the DH situation, one of those guys probably, and then the other guy who's been he's just a great kid. Done well in the classroom, and he's really hit is Cade Huff, and he's a redshirt freshman.
Thanks to Coors Light for bringing you today's Arizona Insiders on Wildcats Radio 1290. Coors Light, official corporate sponsors of Arizona Athletics. There's nothing like game day in Arizona.
That is Chip Hale, the head coach of your Arizona baseball team. Again, the fellows were back. Will be back on the field for their season opener this weekend at home against number 23 Northeastern. Wildcats unranked, picked to finish 9th in the Pac-12, 9 out of 11. Of course, there's only 11 teams in the Pac-12 conference for baseball, but a chance to maybe make some believers of the doubters out there with this young team that's going to be coming in. Did not, unfortunately, get to have that Meet the Team event. It was canceled on Saturday due to the weather and the alumni batting practice and all that. So hopefully some of those guys will get a chance to maybe get out at some point during the season and support this group, because they definitely will need it in the third season under Chip Hale as they try to finish strong in the final season of the Pac-12 conference for Arizona. Want to tell you about a sweet deal that I have for you. This Friday, we've got a sweet deal for Proof Artisanal Pizza and Pasta. I don't know what artisanal means in terms of pizza and pasta. You're the cook over there, J-Dub. What does that mean?
It means fancy and artistic.
Fancy and artistic. There you go. You can get a $50 gift certificate for $25. This sweet deal goes on sale Friday morning, 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com. Proof Artisanal Pizza and Pasta, handcrafted pizzas, house-made pastas to create the very best dining experience in Tucson. They've got brunch, they've got lunch, they've got dinner. Late Night Proof is one of Tucson's premier restaurant locations. Happy hour every day from 3 to 6, which means you got about 10 minutes left to get over there for happy hour. $6 drinks, discounted savory appetizers and pizzas. Proof also offers gluten-free vegan menus and other options. It's located at the southeast corner of River and Campbell in the St. Phillips Plaza. You can find them online at prooftucson.com. Again, that is a sweet deal coming up this Friday, 8:30 over at WildcatsRadio1290.com. A $50 gift certificate for just $25 to Proof Artisanal Pizza and Pasta.
Real quick, since we're talking baseball and football's just ended, news came out today that Jen Powell, did you hear this?
Jen Powell.
Jen Powell has been assigned to the Grapefruit League as the first female since 2007. Once that's done, she will be a head crew chief.
Oh, to umpire.
Umpire. She will be a crew chief in AAA. Now, a female has never called balls and strikes in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And so AAA, you get called up from AAA all the time.
All the time.
So news came out today that she will be in the Grapefruit League and one step closer to potentially being the first female to call balls and strikes.
Awesome. That is awesome to hear for sure. Always great to see jobs that have traditionally been male-dominated continue to see females. We've seen some female coaches. I believe there was one or two female managers last year in professional baseball. I believe there may even be a female on a major league coaching staff this year, if I remember correctly. So good to see that those opportunities are being afforded to the
softball player from Hofstra.
Yeah, to the wonder if she played in that game where Arizona rallied.
Well, she's 49, if that gives you any frame of reference.
Okay, no.
Probably not.
Wasn't that long ago.
No.
Wasn't that long ago that Hofstra came in here and looked like they might knock Arizona out of the regional, but the Wildcats rallied to win. All right, let's give you our Desert Diamond Casino replay for today.
And now, the best thing you will hear all day.
Hachi-machi!
It's time for the Wildcat Radio Replay. In case you missed this earlier in the day, we now bring you the best of 1290. It's made possible by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
We have the cream of the crop. I mean, this is it. We, people get turned away. We have almost close to 700 contestants run through our gates for this 6 days performances here in Tucson.
Wow.
And when they miss that list right there, it hurts. And so it's so important. And like I said, we try to do everything, and we do everything right, and we just hope that Mother Nature cooperates with us. But guess what? I think Mother Nature is going to be really nice with us this weekend, this first weekend, which is huge because on that first Sunday, we have Chicks and Chaps, of course, which is Tough Enough to Wear Pink for breast awareness, cancer. And so we're proud. Plus, we're going to have the entire University of Arizona football team come out to the arena, and the coaches are going to come in a wagon. I'm going to give him a hat, and we're so proud of that team right there for this fantastic year they had, and them getting that Alamo Bowl. We are excited to have them on board here the first Sunday, which will be the 18th.
All right. Well, you know what I want to see, Jose. I want to see a linebacker up there on one of them bucking Broncos. You think we can make that happen?
You know what? I'll tell you one thing. There's some big boys, and we did the whole tour. Ricky Huntley took me for a great tour. We asked everybody, we're looking for a bull rider, and they all said, nope, no. And these guys are something else. These guys are big boys and everything, but nobody wanted to sign up, man. I tell you, it was funny, and they just kind of walked away. They said, "No, I don't even see no recruiting here."
It is the La Fiesta de los Vericados Tucson Rodeo coming up February the 17th through the 25th. Things will get started this weekend. 6 rodeo performances. This Saturday, this Sunday, and then next Thursday through Sunday. Gates open at 11 o'clock. Lots of great stuff happening. Junior rodeos are happening out there. Pro rodeos will get started most days on competition days at 2 p.m. Jose, hey, we appreciate you taking a few moments to join us. Look forward to seeing you. We're going to bring the show out there next Friday, the 23rd. We look forward to seeing you guys out there.
It's always fun talking to you, my friend. Thank you so much for all you do and your support. And if you need anything, be sure you give me a holler.
I need a hat. Can you give me a hat?
I
don't have a hat.
You just send me your hat size.
I will send you my hat size. All right.
Jose, you got it, my friend.
We'll see you next week, Jose.
Take care, my friend. Adios.
That was the Wildcat Radio Replay with the best of the best from 1290. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
If I get a Stetson, J-Dub, I might be wearing that thing around in here all the time. Like every show,
do it
in here. I might have to put my hat on if I get one. I've never had a cowboy hat in my life, not once. Oh, I didn't tell my cowboy hat story.
Bring it.
So when I would do, it got to a point when I was doing high school football in TV for Friday Football Fever over at Channel 4, News 4 Tucson, and then Overtime at 13, which were the 2 high school football Friday night shows. I would always try to find, you could almost guarantee every Friday night you could find one kid in the stands wearing a cowboy hat. So that was my mission when I would go to the games the last few years, is I want to find that one kid who's got the cowboy hat on, and he would make my highlights. So, like, literally every week I would have at least one kid. I think I probably, like, if the season was 14 weeks, I think I got maybe all but 2, maybe 3 weeks I had a cowboy hat.
But isn't that like a tree falling in the woods, and if nobody's around, does it make a sound? It's like if you do that for long enough, then you're going to start to see kids wearing up with cowboy hats just so they can get famous.
It's like, hey, we want to be on Friday. DK's coming to the game tonight. We want to be on Friday Football Fever. We got to wear our cowboy hats. And I would try to come up with a cool line to put in my script to signify the kid in the hat.
Now, there's a very important question. Jose, you showed him wearing a white and a black hat, and he said sometimes he's the hero and sometimes he's the villain. So what color hat are you going to get, DK?
Ooh, I don't know. I've traditionally been the villain.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think I've traditionally been the villain in my broadcast life. So, that's fine. I'll wear the black hat. I have no problem with that. Absolutely. Fear the black hat.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite lines. Fear the black hat. All right, it is the rodeo coming up, Tucson Rodeo. La Fiesta de los Vaqueros, if I can say that correctly.
Close enough.
Yeah. So get your tickets now, TucsonRodeo.com, or call 520-741-2233. That's 741-2233 to get your tickets for the rodeo. Starts this weekend, the 17th. That is Saturday, correct? Yes, Saturday. It goes through the 25th. So there'll be rodeo performances this Saturday and Sunday, and then next Thursday through Sunday. Gates open at 11, 12:30, kids mutton busting. And then junior rodeo, 2 p.m. is when the pro rodeo starts. So get your tickets now for...
Bring your belt with an extra loophole in it, just in case.
I got to get a belt, too. I don't have a hat or a belt. I got to get a belt.
What about boots?
And I don't have boots. I don't have any. I don't got nothing.
You know, you should just show up there with the cleanest boots and the cleanest hat and the cleanest belt ever been and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe I need to bring in somebody to outfit me cowboy style. That would be cool. Like, we could bring somebody in. They could, like, bring different shoes.
You were just offered.
And I could try them out on the air.
I think Jose just offered to do that for you.
Well, the hat. I don't know if he offered the shoe, the boots, and the belt.
I'm sure he'll hook you up.
You have a buckle, too? You have a belt buckle? No?
I do have some buckles, yeah. I don't think I have any cowboy-themed buckles, but there's a few.
All right. Wrapping it up. Thanks to J-Dub. Thanks to Cricket. Most of all, thanks to you for listening. My name's David Kelly. It's DK on the Sports Tip. Have a great evening. Coming up next, it is the Tommy Lloyd Radio Show, live from Union Public House in St. Philip's Plaza, right next to Proof Artisanal Pizza and Pasta. Have a great night, everybody. Bear down, Arizona.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Some good traffic news. Overton Road at the CDO Wash has reopened about a week early. Some really good news again. Overton Road has reopened at the CDO Wash. Collisions that are reported at Rosemont and 5th Street and Rosemont, and a crash at Oracle and Orange Grove. Clear and 41 overnight, sunny 70 tomorrow and 64 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. With over 100 online casino-style games, Chumba Casino is your go-to destination for nonstop entertainment. Play for fun and play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void or prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
This season, the Cats will take on the Bruins, the Ducks, the Trojans, the Beavers, the Utes, the Buffs, the Huskies, the Cougs, the Cardinal, the Bears, and the School up north on Wildcats Radio 1290.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
Let's see, something different for dinner. Searching restaurants near me.
Right here, ma'am. How can we help?
Gee, same old, same old.
Wait, we're right here. Ma'am, our restaurant's just a few blocks from you. Why is she not seeing us?
Back to the usual, I guess.
Ma'am, can you...